What's up, everybody? I'm not even sure if you guys can hear me, see me, nothing. This thing is so weird. Somebody put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see me, please. Because I don't know what is happening right now. Can y'all see me? I don't know. Y'all can hear me, see me. Jesus Christ on the cross. What is up, everybody? I am so sorry for these StreamYard technical difficulties, but we are back. We are ready. We are live, baby. We have a lot of foolishness going on today. Oh, my goodness. Does Edwin De Los Santos have to sue a Mitch? Okay. Teofimo banned his soul through live. Oh my goodness. Turkey undercard talent tryouts. Somebody talk to me. PBC still going broke. This is a mess, y'all. So I don't know how many of my things transferred over here. I'm going to try and find them. Actually, you know what? I'll just play this one first. And y'all let me know if y'all can hear it, all of that, okay?
Am I taking the winner of Tank and Lamont, bro? Good question. I'm gonna keep it as a question. So it's not that I don't want to fight Haney, guys. All right, I think I'm gonna publicly announce it right now. Okay, and this is not talking bad on Turkey Al-Sheikh. This is not talking bad on any of the guys that was part of the deal. However, listen, I don't mind fighting anyone they put in front of me. However, I am a prize fighter. I am a person that is about principles. Sella and I, we signed fight 2 and 3 contract with X amount of dollars. And when it came to, before we actually signed the fight with Barboza, my team and I and my lawyers, we all came to an agreement for fight 2 and 3 being signed before we did fight 1. Okay, now, that being said, we successfully did fight 1, which was against Barboza. Fight 2 includes, and I quote, Jerome Boots Ennis or any other fighter that is in that high calibrated level. Meaning, could be Haney, Rolando Romero, anyone that you guys want to see us face against. That was fight 2. That was signed and sealed with X amount of dollars that I will not express here. There's none of your damn business. When we came to fight 2, they Sella and Riyadh and all this said we're not gonna pay you what we agreed on for August. So there you have it. And the fact that they publicly announced the fight before I even signed the damn deal. Like, couldn't they just wait?
Okay, so I'm hoping that y'all was able to hear and see T.O. and what he was talking about, right? So that was his explanation, I guess, of why he didn't fight Devin, right? But I got a question. If he has a 3-fight deal and it can contain Rolly, Boots, Haney, all those things, right? Any big name that'll draw a crowd, pretty much, is what he's trying to say, right? But then they tried to reduce the amount of money that they agreed upon. So I guess my question is, Do Turkey still got that bag, y'all? Because I mean, Teofimo letting y'all know how Turkey give it up when it comes to the money, right? I mean, look, giving big bags is what I've been hearing over and over again, right? Or at least he's giving the illusion of a big bag. He's constantly lying. He's constantly moving the goalposts. And yet and still, all I hear is Turkey giving out that bag. Or Turkey got the bag. But is he giving it to anybody? Because this ain't the first boxer to say that. Okay? I mean, let's see. Shakur, Rolly, and now Tio. I mean, is Turkey going broke? Somebody let me know what's happening. Turkey need to apply for a welfare check. What's happening? Or is he just realizing what these real promoters already knew? These guys are not producing anything that justifies these quote unquote big purses. And if that's the case and he realized this, then where do these boxers go from here? Back to their regular promoters, back to the regular schedule program, because for the ones that he actually is giving whatever amount of money to, they ain't going to want to go back to regular purses. They're not going to go back. They don't want to go back to what they earning, what they're actually worth. And I'm not saying don't pay them. Obviously, you got to pay them. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to be paid accordingly. Does Turkey see that now? I mean, because that's how it would appear to me. So we saw this announcement, right, of, you know, Turkey about the Bud and Crawford situation. He ain't fully dealt with the Tio situation, whatever, right? The second time for they, whatever. So I want to know how many of you strong gentlemen are going to go and try out for the Turkey Talent Show, because it appears to me that that's what he's doing. He's hosting his own version of America's Got Talent. I mean, you heard the man, right? I don't know. It didn't load over here, y'all. I'm so sorry. But anyway, he said that, you know, he has the biggest fight, so he really don't need an undercard, right? I mean, this is what he said. But, you know, if you guys are good enough, you know, then you can come on down there and showcase your talents, you know, at his talent show and see if he will put you on an undercard. Now, this makes me think, what is Turkey really looking to do? Right? Like, so he just throwing any old body on this undercard, right? So in my opinion, he's doing this because all of the money that he has available, I don't want to hear endless money anymore. That's gone. That's done. All the money that he has available is going to Bud and Canelo. Right? I mean, he has two superstars. This is what he claims anyway, right? That this is the biggest card. He has two superstars on this card. This is going to be, you know, the biggest fight in boxing, right? This is what the brother said. So if you have two of the biggest stars, why was one of them mistaken for Kendrick Lamar? Is that what you call a big star? I'm confused. Somebody tell me something. I just want to know. I mean, if you have two of the biggest stars, right? Facial recognition is a real thing, right? So why did this happen? Like, I'm confused, right? As to what's really going on around here. They constantly tell us things that just simply are not true. And then when we see the truth, they want to move the goalposts. Like these things aren't happening right in front of our face. This is not the biggest fight in boxing. The biggest fight for Canelo would be David Benavidez. Okay? Since EJ is now out of the business, and so there wouldn't be a rematch between Crawford and EJ. The biggest fight for Crawford would have been at 147, would have been Boots Ennis. So don't tell me that somebody coming up 3 weight classes is the biggest fight for Canelo Alvarez. That's just pure bullshit, okay? If I ever heard it in my life. Now, Edwin De Los Santos, And I don't know if y'all saw the interview that he did with Mill City, but shout out to Mill City. Edwin De Los Santos possibly is going to have to sue Top Rank because for whatever reason, well, I think we know the reason, but for that reason being the incident that happened with Keyshawn Davis and his brother and, Nair Albright, he did not get his money. Okay. Edwin De Los Santos is of the opinion, I don't give a good goddamn, I want my bread. So there's that. But he did say a few things, and obviously he speaks Spanish, so there was a translator involved. I tried to get as much as I could of, after the translator translated what he needed to translate to have the conversation from the interview. But he did say a few things that I found very interesting. So just give me a second. It's loading right now. I hope this is it. Loading up. Man, this Restream is not all that. Okay. So
what do you think about Keyshawn Davis not making weight?
He believes that Keyshawn got too relaxed in thinking that he was going to take the fight anyway, and that didn't happen as we all saw. But that he thought that's what ended up happening. That he thought that Keyshawn was too relaxed and thinking he was going to be desperate enough to take the fight. And he also believed that because that he was out so long and haven't had any paydays as of late, that he was going to be desperate just to get that check no matter what.
But he got that check anyway, so that's great.
Well, he actually mentioned right before everything, he mentioned that it's still in the works.
He hasn't got paid yet.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Karma. What do you think about Keyshawn Davis not making weight?
He believes that Keyshawn got too relaxed in thinking that he was going to take the fight anyway, and that didn't happen as we all saw. But that he thought that's what ended up happening. That he thought that Keyshawn was too relaxed and thinking he was going to be desperate enough to take the fight. And he also believed that because that he was out so long and haven't had any paydays as of late, that he was going to be desperate just to get that check no matter what.
But he got that check anyway, so that's great.
Well, he actually mentioned right before everything, he mentioned that it's still in the works.
He hasn't got paid yet.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Karma.
So there you have it. He hasn't gotten paid yet, and Top Rank, for whatever reason, they've decided to go back on their deal that they had with him. So they did give him the $165K, but he is seeking the rest. Like he said, he believes that Keyshawn trained for 140 and not 135. He thinks Keyshawn was scared of him, basically. He said that he knows Keyshawn tried to provoke him at the press conference when he pushed him. And he didn't want to agree. He said another red flag was when Keyshawn didn't want to agree to like the whatever amount of dollars per pound for the penalty. He said that he knew then basically that Keyshawn was playing games and that he didn't want to really fight. He was ducking on purpose and missed weight on purpose. So I guess my question, guys, is do y'all think that he indeed deserves the whole purse? Or do you think that the $165,000 that they already gave him should be good enough for him? I mean, he didn't fight. He did train. Yes, he did for that. But he didn't actually enter the fight. Now, their claim is that they're losing money, obviously, on, the promotion they lost money on. They lost money on the venue. They would have to, continuously pay him. They had to pay everybody pretty much involved. Like I said, the venue, they had to pay the promotion. They had to pay all the arenas, the people in the arenas, all that kind of stuff. So they're basically like, listen, we ain't got it right now. Give us a minute and we'll hit you back. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what they say. We'll hit you back next time or something like that. But Edwin De Los Santos is pissed, him and Samson, and they want their money. They said, oh, we lost money on the booking, the tickets that we had to return, the $2,000 worth of tickets that they had to return, and all of that. He basically like, listen, this was your fighter that did this. I want my goddamn money. So I don't know. There's that. So Section can just say, give him all his money. I see you, Mr. Altruistic. I'm just now seeing this. What's up, everybody? I'm so sorry. This is ghetto foolishness at its highest level. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. They're not taking care of their bills. So that's just that. But yes, so Edwin De Los Santos is going to be suing, or it appears that he's going to be suing if he does not indeed get his money. Okay. The next thing that I kind of wanted to touch on, and then I'm going to drop the link because I want to see what y'all got to say. I constantly hear that PBC is going broke, right? I've been hearing this since, I don't know, I was a tween, maybe. Mama is a full-grown woman. Can somebody please, if you can, right? If somebody can give me an ETA on when they will finally arrive at broke, I would love that, because they've been going broke for years. When will they actually get there, right? And so we all know where this stems from, right? We all know who starts this smear campaign. We all know who is the main one talking about PBC going broke. And I'm not gonna give him any shine and say his name, but y'all all know I'm talking about the pasty fat man. Okay. Here's the thing. When you are a disgruntled ex-employee that was, how do I say this, removed of your duties due to double dipping, and then you go on these years and years of smearing this company simply because you don't like the fact that they told you to get your hand out their pockets. You are pathetic. And you need to seek some sort of help, right? They also say how, PBC fighters, they sit on the shelf, they don't get any action. Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of the Rehab season cards would not have been possible had it not been for a lot of the PBC fighters. Artur Beterbiev, Carlos Adames, Rowley, F.A. Jagba. I mean, the list goes on, right? So they're taking care of their fighters as well as taking care of their own business while helping out other promoters. That does not say to me a company that is going broke, right? So, I mean, if we're being honest, I don't hear anybody talking about Top Rank. Their contract with ESPN is ending in August. They will be homeless. I did read that they're looking to spread their legs like a hooker. I mean, go to different platforms, to work with multiple platforms and different things like that. But they will not have an actual home, no address, right? Boom. That's their business. We all know Eddie Hearns, what he did to bail his company out, the PIF fund. I don't hear anybody talking about this. All I hear is people constantly regurgitating the same nonsense from the fat man. Okay, so if somebody could please give me an ETA of when the PBC will arrive at their destination of broke, that would be amazing for me. Okay, because I'm getting sick and tired of hearing it, and I don't want to hear any more regurgitated shit from the fat man. Let's talk about how unprofessional Turkey is, switching event locations 3 goddamn different times before we actually even get the event set in stone. This is the second or third time he done switched the date on us. The card coming up in July is not selling, not to mention he has it in Queens where people got to take 2, 3, and 4 damn trains to get to Queens, because who the hell is driving through the city of New York to get to Queens? I don't know how many of you guys have been to New York, lived in New York, but it is extremely clustered and most people take public transportation. Okay, so it's a lot of things that Turkey just does not think through when putting on these events. However, Still reducing fighters' purses after you told them one. We've never heard about this from the PBC. If anything, their complaint with the PBC is that the PBC overpays fighters. Meanwhile, Turkey is out here pulling a gotcha bitch every 5 seconds with different fighters, and no one bats an eye or says a word. So I just have a couple questions, honey. And if somebody want to come give your girl some answers, that would be much obliged. And again, do not bring your ass up here with no fat man fantasies telling me why the PBC is going broke if you do not have no damn proof, because I am sick to death of it. Okay? We have a card coming up on Saturday. I will be live on Saturday at 2:30 taking predictions for the fights, although I believe somebody got injured and will not be fighting. So there's going to be one less fight on that card. So it should be kind of like a short night. But even with that being said, there is a card coming up. Richardson Hitchens has been talking his trash and going back and forth. He's now into it with Tank again. They're arguing over a chain or something. It's just getting ridiculous out here in these boxing streets. But yes, there is a couple questions that I just would like answered. I mean, that's it, and that's all. I want to know how many. I heard Tank not gonna have it. Well, that could be true, Tank Father. Probably in sparring. In sparring, I have heard those kind of stories too, that he knocks out guys in sparring, which is why, I guess he don't got a problem getting in the ring with some of these guys. But why should he give them the advantage in an actual boxing match? You know what I'm saying? Fighting your weight class. That's just something, that's a personal preference of mine, fighting your weight class. But it's obvious that, these boxers are running amok and jumping weight classes like double dutch and just doing whatever the hell it is that they want to do. So there's that. Like I said, that card has been changed from the 12th to the 13th about 2 or 3 times. Now it's going to be on Netflix in Las Vegas, but I don't think we have an exact location of that particular fight. So, there's that. But Turkey has been making a mess of things lately. He has decided that he's going to implement a no Tom and Jerry rule for some of these boxers. A lot of fan bases are upset, too, in particular. And I think you guys know the two that I am speaking of, Shakur and Devin's fan bases, which is interesting to me because those two fan bases are the fan bases who swear that their fighter is the best fighter since cooked grease. So the question then becomes, if indeed your fighter is the best fighter, then what in the world is going on?
Different, man.
Hello?
Yeah. What up, Ty?
Boy, that name is ridiculous. What's up? What's going on? I can't be bothered with this. What's up? What's up?
What's up?
I mean, where are the answers to the questions that I requested? Because I mean, what is happening? Every time I turn around, PBC broke. First of all, do you think that Edwin De Los Santos should get the rest of his money?
I mean, my personal opinion, yeah, I feel like anybody that makes the contracted weight should get paid, honestly. But shit, that's just my opinion. These guys need to get that shit written into put that in their contract. As long as they make that weight, no matter what happens on the other side, they get their money. I don't know how that works out, but
yeah, I don't know how that works out either. But like I said, he is looking into some type of legal stipulations because he wants all of his money. He was told that he would get all his money, so I think that's what he wants. The brother wants his money. I don't know what to say about that. What do you think about Tio and his explanation of why it is he didn't fight Devin? Oh, you know what? There was another part of that too. I believe he discusses him not getting all of his money from Turkey.
Tio?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll play it.
So there you have it. Who the fuck is gonna duck Haney? No, seriously. Did you not see his last fight? Kid doesn't want to fight. They've been piggybacking on my back of my name, but I'm not a big star. piggybacking on my fucking, excuse my language, but on my credits, but I'm not the main guy. So, you know, it's because I'm gonna tell you why this shit is like this. You know why it's like this? Because I can't be sold. I can't be sold. And one thing I learned is in this life, you can't sell yourself short neither. Can't sell yourself short neither. Hey guys, try to keep your messages to a minimum, por favor. All right, because I can't read a full-ass paragraph while I'm driving. I can get into an accident, and that's not what I need right now. Feel me, guys? Safety first. Read the title on the live. Safety first. However, I want to say thank you to Oscar De La Hoya. He's on the table, which I'm grateful for. Eddie Hearn, what up, baby? Eddie the Fetty. Al Heyman, send them checks. Somebody gotta promote that fight. Oh.
First clip that I played, he said that they were playing with his money. They changed the money on the contract, is what he said, from when he was supposed to fight. I think he said Barbosa. Actually, he said after he fought Barbosa, they came back basically and said that that they were going to change the amount. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. The crazy part is we keep hearing all this PBC's broke, but no one ever complaining about getting paid from PBC, and then we hearing Turkey got all the money in the world.
Hold on, Cash. Hold on. Let me play this.
I'm gonna keep it as a question. So it's not that I don't want to fight Haney, guys. All right, I think I'm gonna publicly announce it right now. Okay, and this is not talking bad on Turkey Al-Sheikh. It's not talking bad on any of the guys that was part of the deal. However, listen, I don't mind fighting anyone they put in front of me. However, I am a prize fighter. I am a person that is about principles. Sella and I, we signed fight 2 and 3 contract with X amount of dollars. And when it came to, before we actually signed the fight with Barbosa, my team and I and my lawyers, we all came to an agreement for fight 2 and 3 being signed before we did fight 1. Okay, now, with that being said, we successfully did fight 1, which was against Barbosa. Fight 2 includes, and I quote, Jerome Boots Ennis or any other fighter that is in that high calibrated level. Meaning, could be Haney, Rolando Romero, anyone that you guys want to see us face against. That was fight 2. That was signed and sealed with X amount of dollars that I will not express here. There's none of your damn business. When we came to fight 2, they Sella and Riyadh and all this said we're not gonna pay you what we agreed on for August. So there you have it. And the fact that they publicly announced the fight before I even signed the damn deal. Like, couldn't they just wait?
Yep. So as you can hear, and then the August date, y'all know, was the date that he was supposed to fight Devin. So I guess that annoyed him or whatever the case may be. And he just decided not to move forward with that. But what do y'all take on Turkey not paying him? Turkey changing the numbers on the amount he said he was going to pay them. I told you, Turkey is out here pulling a gotcha, bitch.
Can I cuss
I
on
don't.
here? Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, do what you want. Well,
Yeah,
not what you want, but go
this
ahead.
dude is a fucking clown and he's a fucking duck. And secondly, I don't believe nothing that comes out this motherfucker's mouth any goddamn way. I just don't think he wanted to take the fight, to be honest with you. I don't think he's ever wanted to fight Devin Haney. This bitch will go around crying and complaining. Oh, they don't want to pay me the money. Da, da, da. You have, as far as I know, you have a 3-fight, $30 million guaranteed contract with these people. You're gonna get paid that total $30 million. What are you fucking crying and complaining about, bitch? Take the fight. And I guaranteed the amount of money he was finna get paid for this Devin Haney fight is more than the $800K he got for this last fight. This dude just runs his fucking mouth and then gets up on Twitter with these weird fucking incels that are racist and don't like Devin Haney. I don't take nothing this dude says to be credible or nothing like that. That's just me. Y'all go ahead on that. This dude's a fucking clown to me.
Shout out to D1 in the Cash App. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App as well. Marky Dan, you know what? I understand that. And to a certain extent, I agree with you. However, he's not the first boxer to say that.
He's
You
about
understand
as
what I'm saying?
man. He's about as creditable as Devin is. Both these niggas be saying something and then saying something else and then saying something else.
Yeah, I agree, Dan Father. He was trolling with the PBC shit, obviously trying to get somebody to bring him up out of the situation that he's currently in right now. But the other part about Turkey not putting that money where it was supposed to be, I believe that because who else said that? Shakur. Who else said he was playing with the money?
Couple of
Roly.
goofy ass niggas.
Come on, y'all. Yeah, that's fine. But okay, I get it, right? Fuck the messenger, but receive the message, my nigga. He's telling you he's not the only person that said that very same thing, though. So if it stink over there and it stink over there, damn it, it's Turkey. What's up, D Free?
Hey, what's going on?
What's good, Frilio?
Hey, what's good? What's good, Marky Dan? A small part of me believes what T.O. says as far as the money situation. I still don't believe he want to fight Haney, but I believe the money situation because this is the same thing he did to Shakur. And Shakur came out publicly and said it. That he promised me a certain amount, and then when it's time to make the fight, he changed the number. And so this is the second time we hearing this. So a small part of me believes what T.O. say as far as the money situation. I don't know if he really wanted to fight Devin Haney. He wanted to fight Jerron Boots-Ennis, but Jerron he wasn't interested in fighting T.O. But I kind of believe him, like I said, because this is the second time we heard that this happened. Now T.O. could be making this up, but it sound kind of believable because we're not hearing nothing otherwise.
I just don't believe this nigga's scared of Devin, man.
I mean, shout out to
I find it hard to believe.
Cash App too. I appreciate you, Dre.
It's too hard for me to believe. It's too hard for me to believe that any boxer in the game right now is scared of Devin after what they just seen Devin do in the ring.
This is what he said. He was like, yo, do y'all really think I'm scared of Devin Haney? But I will say this, though. Now, T.O. has been running from Devin Haney since 135. I will agree to that, okay? Shout out to Ms. Moan in the Cash App. I appreciate you. He has definitely been running from him for
I agree with that.
time. But in this situation, I agree because like D Free said, like I said earlier, Shakur said the same thing. Rolly said the same thing. Now T.O. saying it. So I will ask everybody again as a collective, do Turkey still got that bag?
There were some other guys too. I don't remember who it was, but there were some guys before them that we were hearing weren't getting paid and were having problems collecting their money from
Carlos
Turkey.
Adames said he didn't get his money. So I will ask y'all, do Turkey still got that bag?
We don't hear none of this shit. We don't hear none of this from the PBC side. Niggas not getting paid. Niggas, you know what I mean?
Them niggas barely fight. But
don't do that.
I do believe Turkey. I do believe Turkey got I mean, it's a fact, but I do believe Turkey got that bag, and because I've seen it on
Oh,
the
this
Saudi
shit. I gotta
government
leave and come
website,
back up.
the type of
I'm
y'all
good.
can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you,
Yeah, we hear
glazing.
that
Keep
bullshit.
Okay,
go
yeah,
ahead
yeah.
and keep
Yeah,
glazing,
Nah,
nigga.
nah, I'm speaking
exactly.
facts. You see the name, good brother. But
You
as I was
glazing
saying,
right now, nigga.
you could see the budget that the Saudi social development sector, which Riyadh season is under. You could see the budget they have for it on the Saudi government website. That budget is over $69 million,
What's that got
and
to do with
Riyadh
nobody
season
getting
gets
paid with these
excuse me
guys not getting
69
paid,
bit.
bro?
Hold on. Excuse me, I wasn't finished talking. The question was, does Turkey
Hurry
still
up,
have that
nigga.
bag? Now, is he willing to give that bag up to these little niggas like Shakur and Tio, who he just paid 800K? I mean, that's up for questioning. That's up for questioning. But I don't doubt that he has that bag over there because he's pulling from a big ass pool of money.
That to be true. I definitely just don't believe that to be true. And as I just told you, we've already put out 3 or 4 different boxes who stated that they were not get. Somebody need to mute up. 3 or 4 boxes who
I ain't
stated that
nobody
they
said
did
it.
not get the pay that they requested or the
Mama.
pay that they
Oh.
mute up, D Free.
Uh, nah. The thing is, I hear people saying they don't believe that anybody will be scared of Devin. The thing is, when you look at the way that T.O. fights, and you look at the way, even if you look at the way that Devin fought in his last fight, that means T.O. will have to come at Devin, and T.O. is not a good fighter when he got to go forward. He's better as a counterpuncher. So him fighting Devin, even if Devin fought the way that he fought in his last fight, it makes it very hard for Tio to win that fight.
Bro,
So
I agree with all that, D Free, but I'm talking about where's the fear come in? That you just talking about
no,
worried
the
about
the the fear.
worried about losing, cool. Scared and fear, two different things, bro.
So hold on. I mean, we already passed the point of did he duck Devin? I told you, I think they've been ducking each other since 135. The question is, do Turkey still got that bag? Because this is the 4th boxer we've heard say that he pulled the gotcha bitch on him and switched the money at the last second. That was the question on the table.
Turkey definitely got money, but if you watching who he's paying all the money to, he's not paying a bunch of money to nobody from US. He's paying Tyson Fury and Usyk and shit, Canelo. Okay, Canelo from the US, I guess. But
But
he
see, this
paying.
is my
Nah. He an
and
Irish
that's my
man.
other question.
He an Irish
Hold
Mexican. Be
on,
honest,
Marky
brother.
Dan.
Speak the
Hold
facts.
on, Marky Dan.
Nigga,
Good.
quit talking when I'm
That's
talking,
my
man.
that's
I
my
speak
other
facts.
question though, guys. So of course, okay, so now he's throwing this America's Got Talent undercard tryouts, right? So he don't have to pay people really what they're worth if he gets bigger names. Is that because he's paying Canelo and Bud the majority of the money? But I thought money didn't matter, right? So why now is he trying to pull back the purse strings? If he got all this money, it's just a question, like, because I'm genuinely confused. Don't everybody speak at once?
I don't think he's paying
I don't
Bud a
know.
whole bunch of money. He's paying Canelo 100 million, but shit, Bud only probably gonna get like 10. That's why all these other big numbers that everybody talking about, man, them niggas, man,
I mean, the man
y'all need.
spent $400 million.
God damn, nigga, can I finish my
Oh,
thought
my
before
bad. I
you get
thought
to
you was
running your
done. My
mouth,
bad,
nigga?
brother. My bad. You
Marky
totally right.
Dan,
You totally right.
please.
Jesus
I'm out of
Christ.
order. My bad.
Always. Go ahead, Cash.
Nah, you got it. Go ahead, Marky.
He ain't
Motherfucker.
No,
talking
I was
about
just
nothing
saying,
anyway. Get
hey,
ready to
bastard.
lie.
Don't call me no motherfucker.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
just
Motherfucker.
saying.
Hey. Y'all at the Players Palace, not at the projects.
All
Y'all
right. My
at the
bad. My bad.
Players Palace, not the projects. Get it together. Go
I was
ahead,
just
Marky Dan, with your
supporting.
bullshit.
I think no, the facts. Just what my brother was saying.
Yeah.
I was gonna support his point by saying, I mean, the nigga Turkey dropped $400 million in a weekend to put on that shit in Times Square and to pay Canelo and Haney and all them niggas. So I don't
To
doubt
which
he
he
got
didn't
the
let no
bag. I
fans
just don't think
attend.
why.
That at which he did not let no fans attend. He put up a big ass tarp so the fans couldn't see it after lying and
Yeah,
saying it was going to be open
exactly.
to the public.
No, but that just supports my point even more. They probably didn't make shit off that event. Like not off the pay per view, because that, well, I mean, the pay per view was $89 total, but that shit probably all went to Canelo or Turkey probably took all it back in. But no, that just supports my point even more. That they dropped $400 million and they did not pull in any gate from that event. So I don't think that the nigga is necessarily worried about burning money. I just don't think he wanted to pay Tio and Shakur what they wanted at that time.
It doesn't matter if you want to pay them. It matters what you told them you would pay them. What's on the goddamn paperwork? Because I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you don't like how I perform. You damn well gonna pay me what's in the paperwork that you said you were gonna pay me. And I think that's T.O.'s point.
But did
After
Tio
you
put his
put the pin,
did Tio put his signature to that paper?
he didn't say. He didn't say. He just. I mean, you heard the clip that was on his live
I
late
thought I
night.
heard him say
He
he
just
didn't
was saying
sign it
that.
multiple times. Boxing
I'll play
Queen.
it again. It's no problem. It's no problem. I'll play it again because I don't have to mince his words. He said what the fuck he said. I don't have to change his words.
No, most
Him,
definitely, most definitely.
because I feel like for whatever reason you got your cape on ready to cap for Turkey, and I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is
I ain't
what's going
capping.
on. You hear all these people sit up here and tell you that this nigga ain't what it is, but yet some of y'all niggas will still
Am I
go on
taking
here
the
and
winner
lie.
of
You up here
take
caping for
and
the goddamn
Lamar
Puerto Rican
votes?
Honduran, and then calling your
Nigga,
black brother a liar.
bro.
What kind of shit is
Good
that,
question.
Jab Queen?
Man, here you go.
It's a fact.
I'm gonna keep it as a question.
Marky got a glazed
So it's
turkey
not that
leg in his
I don't
hand
want to
right
fight
now,
Haney,
eating right, and this
guys.
nigga just ready to go.
Man, I'm breaking down the numbers.
All right, I think I'm gonna publicly announce it right now. Okay.
Y'all go ahead,
And
man.
this is not talking.
Is it playing? Hold on. This damn restream. What the hell is happening? Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
All right, I think I'm gonna publicly announce it right now. Okay. And this is not talking bad on Turkey Al-Sheikh. It's not talking bad on any of the guys that was part of the deal. However, listen, I don't mind fighting anyone they put in front of me. However, I am a prize fighter. I am a person
Are we supposed
that
to be
is
listening
about
to something?
principles. Sella and I,
Yeah, I can't hear nothing.
we signed fight 2 and 3 contract with X amount of dollars.
Can't hear it?
Nah.
And when it came
All right,
to
hold
Yeah, I
on,
hear.
hold
before
I
on.
we
hear it
actually
now. I can
signed the
hear
You
it
fight
hear
now.
with
it?
Barboza, my team and I and my
Yeah.
lawyers, we
Got
all
the
came to
beat.
an agreement
Yeah, he
for
signed
fight 2 and
the
3 being
contract.
signed before we did fight 1. Okay,
I don't hear shit.
now with that being said, we successfully did fight 1, which was against Barboza. Fight 2 includes, and I quote, Jerron Boots Ennis or any other fighter that is in that high calibrated level. Meaning, could be Haney, Rolando Romero, anyone that you guys want to see us face against. That was fight 2. That was signed and sealed with X amount of dollars that I will not express here. There's none of your damn business. When we came to fight 2, they Sella and Riyadh and all this said we're not gonna pay you what we agreed on for August. So there you have it. And the fact that they publicly announced the fight before I even signed the damn deal. Like, couldn't they just wait?
So it sounded to me like he said the fight was
Because
announced
everybody's
before
saying
I.
they can't hear it. Everybody's
Well,
saying they couldn't
I heard
hear
it, but
it.
yeah, I see the chat. Yeah, they saying they couldn't hear it.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to work this damn restream. Did you hear it, Cash?
I heard it the first time
Uh,
you played it, but I didn't
yeah,
hear it now.
I heard the
You heard
part
it,
he
Z-Free?
said they
Everybody.
announced it. They announced it before I signed. I heard that part.
no, he signed a contract for a 3-fight deal. The first fight was supposed to be Barbosa. The second fight was supposed to be Boots or Haney or anybody of that caliber. And then he said when it was time for the second fight, they changed the number and said they wasn't going to pay him the amount they agreed to.
But the 30 million that's guaranteed over 3 fights. So I don't think he has a specific flat fee or guarantee per fight. Like
We don't
I
know if
think
it was 30 million for 3 fights.
I don't know why this nigga keeps saying 30
that's why,
million.
because that's what I heard.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
nigga,
you
that
heard,
ain't
but we don't
facts.
know if
Just because you
that's what it
heard something
was.
don't make it facts, my nigga.
All right, nigga. Well, combat my facts. What did you hear?
That ain't no fact, nigga. I ain't gonna combat some shit that ain't fact. Shit.
And, I mean, if he
Reports.
was
How about
if he
that?
was getting 30 million for 3 fights, he didn't make $10 million in the fight against Aaron Barbosa. So that means
Nope.
the next two fights, he would have had to make more than $20 million combined for both those fights.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Nah, me neither.
And if that was true, he definitely would be in there fighting Devin. Shit, niggas wouldn't be. He been starving over there at Tarp Rank.
But he gonna keep starving.
Do we believe him?
Nah, I mean, I don't. Nah.
It's plausible. I'll give you that.
Like D Free said, I believe some of it, but
That's what I'm saying. I'm only asking about the money part. Everything else, Tio can kiss my black ass. But I'm asking about the money and the contract. And do y'all believe that at the last minute they switched it on him? Given everything that we know, given every other boxer who has come out and said they either haven't gotten paid or that he has also done this to them, do we believe him?
oh, I believe anything with Turkey can be possible. Yeah, I do
So
believe that.
DP Rocker said he's lying. Okay. Y'all are terrible. What you say, Cash?
I believe that
Wow, your brother's terrible.
anything any of that could be possible with Turkey. I believe because we've been hearing it too many times about these damn not money problems, but these problems with these dudes collecting their money from Turkey. Shit.
So again, do Turkey still got that bag? That's all I
No,
want to know.
no, I don't believe Turkey got that bag like he had before. I believe Turkey was spoiling these dudes, trying to make them think, oh, Turkey's gonna pay me whatever I want just to go over here. We seen it with Shakur. What happened with that? He made Shakur apologize just to re-get that Zepeda fight, and they had to renegotiate some money. Why? Because Turkey doubled down. My bad. He doubled back on that money he promised Shakur, which, in my opinion, I guess maybe the way we seen Turkey and these antics, him talking about the Tom and Jerry rule, him doing all this extra bullshit, saying in the media that he wants to have a talent, an America's Got Boxing talent for the undercard of Canelo. When has anybody ever done that? I guarantee you, if like the PBC or Top Rank does some shit like that, they're gonna say, yo, these dudes don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Because at the end of the day, Turkey don't got that bag. Turkey was just fooling y'all. Turkey was pretending like he had that bag and he was borrowing that money. All that money was borrowed. That's not his money. So now the people that he was borrowing from, they probably told him, yo, we lost so much money and you've been putting on these shit fights. May 2nd and May 3rd, that was the most horrible card you've ever dropped, Turkey. Because, hey, I'll give Turkey his props. He had 2 fights that I wanted to see. And we did get to see those in the beginning of last year. And after that, what? Do y'all really want to see the Canelo fight and Bud fight when we all know Bud is getting paid in crypto and Canelo's getting paid in cash?
I keep telling y'all this is, and he tried to say that this is the biggest fight with the biggest superstars, but that's impossible. That's impossible. If nobody knows your superstar, how can it be the biggest fight with the superstar? Nobody that I know, Gervonta Tank Davis, things like this don't be happening to him. They don't happen to him. Look at this. Look at the screen. Just look at
They
your.
mistake that boy for
That man
Kendrick
happy.
Lamar. Hey,
This
man,
don't this
Jackson,
don't happen to this don't happen to Tank. Big
Jackson,
Star my ass.
I remember watching that UFC fight. Oh my god, I remember like it was yesterday when they showed Turkey in the screen. I said, oh hell no, they doing Bud dirty. You know why? Because nobody knows Bud like that.
This is
Everybody
what
could
I'm
sit here.
saying.
Everybody could sit here and argue and try to justify and make a point that Bud is famous. I'll tell you what. Shout out to Bud. He got them accolades for sure. But if you put Bud somewhere in a random area, in a random city, walking in the mall, you think people are gonna stop and notice him? No.
Bud famous. He just ain't no damn superstar.
Mm, mm,
Facts, facts,
mm.
facts.
He might be famous in his hometown,
In
in a couple
Nebraska.
cities, yeah, in a couple cities next to
I
Nebraska.
mean, there's a lot of hardcore boxing fans that know him, but
Yeah, but how many casuals are there? A lot too.
oh
I
yeah,
guarantee
yeah,
you
definitely. Yeah, I agree
there's
with you, bro.
more.
He's
Yeah.
a star. He ain't what his fans think he is.
Bud ain't star material, and I don't believe he can even reach that anymore. One, because he got no personality. You see him in the interview slouched up, not giving a damn. That right there says to me that that's not superstardom. That's
Yeah, I
saying
ain't no
that
Bud fan. I ain't no fan of him.
I am, but I'm just saying it how it is. I don't think Bud is really popular, like how they trying to paint him out how he is. Because I mean, one, if he was so popular, then why is the Errol Spence fight talked the most? Why aren't his other fights talked the most? One, because that Errol Spence fight elevated Bud's career to a whole nother level, and he just got a new sense of stardom.
I mean but that was the super fight. So
It
I
didn't
mean,
really elevate his
I
career.
don't disagree with you, but that's how it's supposed to be.
But
I
you
don't
think
see
that's
how it.
the only fight
I
people
don't
talk
see how
about?
it elevated his career. He got the big fight with Errol, and then his next pay per view fight flopped. So I mean, shit, how is that an elevation?
Well, in a
I mean,
sense of being more known, because people only know Bud. Why? If you, and it's like you said, you got hardcore fans that know him, and you got casuals. If you ask a hardcore fan about one of his fights, more than likely they'll probably bring up Mean Machine, because that was a controversial fight for a lot of people. They thought that he didn't get dropped, that he slipped, and then you tell a casual, "Oh, you know Errol Spence? Oh yeah, I remember he fought that dude Bud. He beat him." I guarantee you that that'll be the conversation there.
Yeah, you might be right.
So, all right, fine. So we believe Tio about the money, right?
I
So
do. I believe him.
I believe him about the money too. Like I said, he's not the first person that said that. He's not the second person. He's like the third or fourth person, bro, that said something like that regarding the funds, right? So boom. Now we see that Turkey is hosting his very own America's Got Talent undercard show, right? For the undercard of Canelo and Bud. He out here asking for talent to come and do whatever it is. They don't even have a venue still. The fight is what, 2, 3 months out. They don't have a venue. That little tired face sit down that they did ain't hitting on nothing. The card that he has for July 12th is flopping. What are these boxers going to do when Turkey? I mean, obviously, he's not even really paying them like that. The ones that he likes, he seems to be paying them more than the others. But what are these boxers going to do when Turkey is no longer in the business? When
Did he
Turkey,
really say
when
that?
his what?
America Got Talent.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
he
said
did.
that.
No, he
I said
wait, he
that,
did.
but he said come try out for the undercard. I'm not in my stream yard. I had all that in my stream yard, but he yes, he said that he wants people to come and try out for the undercards.
He said,
Oh,
"Send me your tapes if you think you
Yeah,
got what it takes." This
yeah.
motherfucker rhyming out
he
the ass,
said,
trying hard to get people just to go and submit tapes. So if any of y'all box, send that shadow box, and you hit in the bag. You might have a chance to fight on the Canelo undercard.
Yeah, that's why I said. I said, anybody in the chat box?
bro, I
Y'all
thought
go
you were
on down
joking.
to the
This
little.
man actually said he don't want to see no Tom and Jerry fighting. That's funny as hell.
Yeah,
hey
but
Yeah,
man,
no, he
I
said
don't
I
blame
that.
don't
him.
blame him. I don't blame Turkey, one, because look, I know Devin gets a lot of hate, but that shit that he pulled was not no sweet science. Shakur, I could give Shakur the more edge on the sweet science one, because he's been doing that for a really long time. He's been
That's his
jumping
fighting
back.
style.
That of course
A lot of people are in disagreement with that. They're saying you can't tell boxers how to fight, and I don't think that that's what he's doing. Maybe
he just
he's just
doesn't
telling
want
them
them
you
running
can't fight
around.
for me. Maybe he's saying you
Yeah,
can't fight for me like that. I don't know
but
what he meant by that, to be
I ain't got
we
no
honest.
all know
problem
he
with
was
that.
subbing. He was throwing subs at Dev. He was throwing subs. I mean, we just seen it on the. I mean, I've seen some of these Turkey cards. We seen Turkey go as far as reading the scorecards, getting up, telling someone, "Hey, throw some punches. What are you doing? Come on, edge out the fight." Like that to me is just nasty work, and I get it. Turkey's trying to put on the best fights, and whoever's lending him that money, they're probably like, someone said he paying them in Dave and Buster tokens.
That's crazy.
Whoever,
Wow.
whoever's putting up the money for the fight. I mean, you as a businessman, right? Say we all had promotions. Are we in the game to lose money, or are we in the game to make money?
But what difference do it make? That's what I'm trying to ask everybody. Like, and nobody seems to like. Okay, so I guess all the knob gobblers that were on Turkey's train at first, they don't want to admit that, what I'm saying, they were wrong about Turkey. But I mean, let's be honest. He's not doing what he came in the game and said he was doing. The main point of contention that everybody had was, oh, y'all mad because Turkey throwing around that money. He giving them the money. Who cares? Let him do what he want. Let him do this. Let him do. Now that he's not giving them the money, what level is Turkey on? Is he just a nuisance to us? Or
Yeah,
is he still good for boxing?
I mean,
he was
I don't
never good
really
for
give a.
boxing.
I mean, for Shakur is gonna fight Zepeda on his card. I think Tio they're gonna find him a fight, even though I really and truthfully don't give a fuck. Unless that man fights Boots and he
No,
gets
no, Theo got
viciously
plans already.
assaulted, I don't really care to see Tio fight nobody else. Unless maybe it's a Richardson Hitchens, because
No,
it
Theo
seems
got
like
plans
he
to fight
doesn't want
Roach.
to fight. It seemed like for whatever reason, y'all niggas say he ain't scared of Dev. Okay, all right, fine. But for whatever reason, he ain't fighting
Who is
Dev.
scared
So
of Devin? Come
do
on, come
you,
on, come on now,
I
my
mean, I
brother.
think he's scared of looking bad. You don't
I
gotta
Oh
be
don't.
well,
I
I
scared of
don't
mean
getting
know.
your
that's
I
ass
a
don't
kicked
know.
possibility,
necessarily.
but I mean actually afraid of him. I don't think so because I mean if we're being
Yeah,
honest, it's not really much Devin can do to him. It's not like he could really beat him up. He can outpoint him, but I don't really see Devin beating up Teal. Like that's a bit of
yeah.
a
I
I
don't.
stretch in
mean,
my
you could
opinion.
look
I don't.
niggas
I
is
don't
really
know. I don't know about that because we saw Cambosis beat T.O. up, and we saw what
Yeah,
Devin did to Cambosis.
but Cambosis
Yeah,
went
but we
24
we
rounds
know
with
how.
Devin.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Devin can beat him up because T.O. don't know how to fight coming forward. He only know how to fight going backwards.
You
That's
see,
Yeah.
he's a counter puncher. He fights better
Tio
when he
fights to
counter
his
punch.
level. He fights to the level of the opposition. So I do believe that
Hmm.
we'll see a different Tio against Dev. One, because we've seen it in the past. That's just Tio style. And
No,
I personally don't think he ducked Dev. I just think the money wasn't there. And it's like Tio said, he's a prize fighter. Tio might just be tired of getting paid crumbs, and
I
he
mean
wants
Well,
that big bag. I don't blame him. But
the only fight that you saw him fight to the level of the competition was Loma, and Loma didn't throw punches for
yeah.
the first 6 rounds.
yeah.
That's it.
When you look at
That's the only opponent.
when you look at him against Jermaine Ortiz, Sander Martin,
that shit was so sad.
what's the other goddamn boy? I'm trying to think of.
Claggett,
But those are the two. Yep. No, no,
Claggett.
not Clark. I'm thinking of guys with lateral movement. He doesn't fight well against those guys. Like to be honest, they
Right, because he
embarrassed
can't
him.
he can't
Sander,
he can't
yeah,
fight
Sander,
coming forward.
Sander Martin dropped him twice, just off a little check left hook, just off some angles and some leverage. So yeah, I think Dev could embarrass him in that fight. And even if you're not scared of pain, I think he's scared of getting embarrassed by the dude he called pillow fisted, glass jaw. What it was, he said, you a runner and this and that. Yeah, he's scared to get 9-3, 10-2 by that dude. Absolutely.
Man, the Devin before 420 of 2024 might have beat T.O., but the one I just seen, T.O. gonna beat that motherfucker.
yeah, I agree. Because if
Hey,
Devin
I
comes
got the
in
friendly
to
10.
do that
Friendly
shit,
10s.
I'm telling you, bro. If these dudes keep fighting on these turkey cards, I guarantee you, Turkey might even go as far as telling the judges, "Yo, whoever's not throwing punches and whoever's coming forward, you give it to them. Don't even give it to the dude that's running." So don't be surprised if
Nah.
we start seeing some shady shit like that. Because Turkey's shady.
No,
Turkey's
I
a
mean
shady.
I believe T.O. has the skills to beat Devin in a straight up fight. I just think that T.O. is more so scared of getting embarrassed by Devin. I think
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. He's just more so scared of getting embarrassed. But I think he has the skills to be able to beat Devin if he come out there and really fight at it on his A game. He has the skills. He's athletic. He has decent power. He has decent boxing ability. He has the skills.
we
But
just don't
I
know
think
what Theo we're gonna
in
get.
his head, I think it's going to play a part because Bill has a way with his words. He knows how to get in T.O.'s head. And T.O. is not going to be the fighter that he needs to be on fight night because he's going to be listening to Bill going back and forth with Bill Haney. And he's going to come in there and he's going to be a different fighter, and that's how he's going to lose that fight.
Speaking of Bill Haney, did y'all see him walking the streets of
Yo,
Brooklyn? Walking the streets of Brooklyn, quote unquote, looking for Teofimo and Teofimo Senior.
Yeah, he going liquor store diving. He
nah,
going liquor store diving
nah,
for
nah,
Tio
but you know
Senior.
what? Nah, you know what? Bill's such a clown. That was Brooklyn Bridge. How the hell is he gonna find Tio at Brooklyn Bridge? I thought that shit was so corny.
Oh, somebody in the chat said that Dev put the beats on Tio at a sparring match.
That's boxing
I
And
scholars.
don't
can
He
think so.
said it. I
somebody?
believe
Okay,
it.
so hold on. Yeah, boxing scholar said that. So hold on, D Free. You have a really deep boxing knowledge. Can you connect these dots for me? Because I'm really trying to understand how Devin is ranked number one at 147 pounds, but has yet to fight there. Can somebody make that
Um,
make sense to me?
nah, it's the politics of boxing. It's who he's
Okay, that's
under
what I
right now.
thought. I
It's
just
who
wanted to
he's
make
under
sure. I'm
right
like, did
now.
I miss something? Because I'm usually pretty good at connecting dots. Did I miss
But
something?
he
Because
I
did
that's
mean,
fight at
because
crazy.
welterweight though.
if truthfully speaking, if you want to be truthfully about it, he's fought at 170. 147 pounds because you don't have to weigh 147 pounds. That is the limit when you're fighting a championship bout. So you can't be over
I got
147
that.
pounds.
I'm
So
clear on that. So you mean
I just
anything over 140 is considered 147? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Yes.
anything over 140 is considered 147.
Let's not forget Devin has blown up to 25 pounds from 135, and that was said by Mario Suleiman himself, the WBC. He told Bill, "Your son came in 25 pounds, so 35 plus that 25 is 60." So Devin has gone as far as going up to 160, maybe even more. We don't know. So I don't believe Dev is a true 47. But right now, Dev ain't even fighting at that weight. He fighting at junior welterweight,
No,
a
but
made
Exactly.
weight class.
yeah, the thing is, if he
Reviews,
if
what's
he
up?
claims if he claims that he's the mandatory
What's going on?
to Bob, man, to Boots, or he's the mandatory to Mario Barrio, he needs to be fighting somebody in that sanctioning body. He don't need to be worried about Tio because Tio's not fighting at 147. He said he was going to go up there to fight Boots, but he hasn't fought anybody at 147. He hasn't fought anybody at a catchweight. His last fight was at 140. So if Tio is not fighting him, Dev need to focus on fighting somebody that's at 147
You
because
can say
that's
that
the weight
again
class that he claimed he's at.
for sure.
But you see, Devin went as far. Devin went as far as saying he didn't want to fight at 47 yet, just because he still got to test the, like, he want to go up smoothly. But it's like, brother,
But
you've been going
hold
up
on.
smoothly for years.
Okay, but he just said that he wanted to fight Tio at 147. Tio wanted the 145. That's what I'm
But
saying, yo. When you
I
deal with a
don't
bunch of liars, it's hard to figure out
I
what's
don't
going on.
see I don't agree with that because he didn't go up smoothly to 140. He went straight to 140. So what's this all I need to work my way up to 47? You didn't work your way up to the last weight class. You went straight to
That
the
nigga
weight class
scared
and
to
fought the
death,
champion.
bro. He's
So
scared to death to fight for
That's because there's some
147 right
dogs
now.
up there. Tony reviews. What's going on with you, baby? What's up?
Not much. I just jumped on to say that Devin ain't beating up a tied up kitten. Like that dude ain't beating nobody up. Now he'll outbox you, but he ain't gonna beat you up.
But that's what I said, But that's what I said about the Tio situation. I don't know if you heard the clip of Tio saying that Turkey did not give him the money he said he was going to give him. So Tony, do you think Turkey still got the bag? Since this is the third or fourth fighter we've heard say that they're not paid what they were told they were going to be paid.
I don't know how these fighters keep allowing themselves to get robbed. I mean, if it's contractual, take them to court.
There you go.
But I
Yeah,
mean, at the end of the day, like I'm gonna just be honest. If I offer you 100 and I know I can give you 50 and I get away with it, then I'm gonna keep giving you 50. So I ain't got to give you 100 if you're not gonna do nothing about it. So I mean, Turkey's just doing what anybody would do who's going to try to get over on somebody.
Well, but hold
But
up. I thought he had that money. I thought this was, you know what I'm saying?
I
I thought this
mean,
was the Saudi prince,
you
unlimited
you
cash.
you can
What
have all the
happened?
money in the world, but if you got some suckers, you take them for being suckers. That's all I'm saying. Like,
There you go.
if if he offered, like, if he's supposed to pay you $20 million for a fight and he only ends up giving you two, then take him to court. If not, then why? What are we doing here? Like, you're complaining, but you're not taking no action. So one, you're lying about what he offered you, or two, you just a sucker.
I lean more towards capping
That's
and clout chasing,
interesting.
but that's me, Tony. That's me.
I mean, so okay. So when he did the same thing to Shakur, he didn't pay Carlos Adames all of his money. He tried to play with Rolly. Do you think this a pattern? And obviously Turkey. Well, you said they being suckers, but this is business, yo. When you put something on a contract, you're supposed to honor the contract. So why now are you playing all these money games? When you first came in the game, you wasn't doing that. Or did you just have people silenced to where they couldn't tell anybody that you weren't doing that?
I mean, I don't know. I just, like you said, it's business, and I don't understand. If you are contractually obligated to pay somebody, then why the person who didn't get paid doesn't take them to court? That would be my
I
only
don't know.
question.
From the video, Tio basically said
Well,
that once they signed, hold on, Jeffrey. Once he showed them the contract, or once they agreed to the certain amount, they kind of told him, what did he say after the Barboza fight? Like, I'm not going to pay you that amount.
Well, it's only he can only take him to court if they actually had the fight. But if they didn't have the fight, he can't take him to court because they didn't fight. He said, "No, I'm not agreeing to what because you offer me something different. So I'm not fighting him for the money that you're offering me now." So now if he would have went to the if they would have went through and had the fight and he told him, let's say he told him 11 million and then he turned around and paid him 5 million, he could take him to court for the other six because that was the contract agreement. But he didn't have a fight, so he don't need to take him to court because there was no fight that took place.
Well, no, because you could take to
Hold
somebody.
on,
You could
Tony.
take.
Tony, hold on. So D Free, so you agreed that maybe Edwin De Los Santos doesn't have a case? Because remember the clip that I played about Edwin De Los Santos saying
Oh
that
no, no, no! You talking about Elvin De Los Santos? I thought you was talking about somebody else. Elvin
but
De
I'm
Los Santos,
asking you
no.
because now it's like a similar situation. You just said if they didn't perform the contract, then he really has no case.
No, 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 no. I thought you was talking about the T. I thought we were still on T. I was doing something else.
We
I
are on
thought we were still
Tio,
on
but
T.
I was asking about the correlation because you're saying that if he didn't fight, then he doesn't get the money. But as I just played the clip, Edwin is suing Top Rank, or at least considering it because he's not getting all his money. They only gave him 165,000, I think it was.
Is he suing Top Rank for his purse, or is he suing Top Rank for something else?
Well, I would think it
Because
would
Now
be
he's
for his
suing for
full.
the purse, for the full purse that he was
Yeah,
told he was gonna get.
yeah, I would think it would be for the full purse because I mean he did what he was supposed to do. He made weight. He was ready to fight. So I mean, I don't know. We're
so
gonna see how that work out.
what
But
was
he
his
he did have the opportunity to renegotiate.
what was his guaranteed purse and what is he suing for? That's the
I
question.
think 250. I think.
What do you think about
No, because I saw
Keyshawn
different
Hold
Davis
numbers.
on,
not making
hold
weight?
on. 330.
He believes that
330. Okay.
Keyshawn got too relaxed
And that's what
in
he's suing
thinking
for.
that he was gonna take the fight anyway,
I mean,
and
if that's
He's
what he's
suing
suing
for the
for,
and
difference of that
and
from
you know that
160.
didn't happen as we all saw, but that he thought that's what ended up
oh,
happening.
so
That he thought
they
that
gave
Keyshawn was
him
too relaxed
150 and he's
and
suing for
thinking
You
he
don't
was
hear the
gonna
video?
be desperate
Y'all
enough to
don't see
take
the
the fight.
video?
Yeah, we hear it.
And
We
he
hear
also
it.
believed that because you know that he was out so long, and you know haven't had any paydays as of late, that he was gonna be desperate just to get that check no matter what.
But he got that check anyway, so that's great.
Well, he actually mentioned right
Whoa.
before everything, he mentioned that it's still in the works.
He hasn't got paid yet.
Oh shit. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So
Commerce.
really fast, T.O. could most definitely sue Turkey Alashay if he like proposed a fight to him that wasn't at the Met agreement. Because that would be like deferred compensation. That's what it would fall under. Like it's like any sports athlete or really in business anyways, if you have x amount of dollars for x amount of whatever you're doing, then they have to abide by what they originally agreed. There is no renegotiation allowed. So the fact that Turkey's telling him that I'm only going to give you half of what I'm supposed to pay you, he's already breached the contract alone. The fight doesn't have to happen. He's already in breach of contract by trying to renegotiate something that can't be renegotiated. So that's a breach of contract. So yeah, he definitely could go sue him if he wanted to. As far as De Los Santos goes, I don't know if he's going to be able to sue Bob Arum. He'll be lucky if Bob gives him any money because Bob Arum was a business lawyer before he was a promoter, and his contracts be locked tight. So he's probably got all types of clauses in there, like if a fighter miss weight, if the fight doesn't happen, you know what I mean? There's going to be so many clauses in a top rank contract that I highly doubt De Los Santos will be able to sue him.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they can hold Turkey to the same standards because he's in a whole nother country. I don't know if they can
And
hold
he
him to the
claims
same
that he's
standards.
not a promoter. He's what is he? What does he claim that he is? He's not a promoter. He's what is that
He's an
bullshit that he claims?
ambassador, and he's
Oh,
all got
please.
all other type of titles in the Saudi government.
The Boston Scholar is hilarious. Yes, he did. I remember that too when he unalived that reporter in his
No,
country.
that wasn't Turkey. That was the Crown Prince. Let's be accurate with that.
Yeah, I said the same thing, boxing scholar. I don't know if he can take him to court. This man is in another country. He's not a citizen of the United States. He's not bound to the laws of the United States in another country. So I don't know if he can take him to court
Well,
because
you
that he
would. You
Well,
could.
well,
Because if he does business, so he would literally be stripped from able to do business in America. Like if he defaults on a court case, they can take every right he has to do business in America away from him. So therefore, there is no more boxing matches. There is no more signing American fighters. Like they can literally just bar him from the entire country.
you act like Turkey wants to do business in America. He don't want to do business in America.
Well, no, what that means, D Free, is it doesn't mean like per se having to come to America. It means he can't even do business with American fighters. Like they could literally destroy this dude legally to where he couldn't touch anything American if he's over there doing that and they took it to court and he defaults some money that's owed. Like they can
Well,
literally strip his business rights away.
yeah, they'll have
one
to
or two
And they don't
things
probably
got
then.
make it.
and they don't
It's
got
gonna be
problems
tough
putting
though.
sanctions. And they don't got
If
problems
that's
putting sanctions on foreign businesses. Not in this administration.
if that's the case, there's one or two things going on. Either To's lying about the whole deal, or there was no signature on a contract.
I agree with you, D Free. I think
Yes, Dub, we know.
something's
I was
off.
wondering that myself. I was wondering that myself, Dub, because I did hear about that, the woman that he disrespected. But now they announced that it's on Netflix. I heard that too, though. I did hear that. I don't know what the hell happened. I guess they apologized, or Turkey understands that you got to do business in America a different way. So who knows?
No, but I think you're right, D Free. I don't think he had his name on paper.
Yeah, I think it was verbal. He verbally agreed to do that, but it wasn't no paperwork signed. Because if what you're saying is true, if there's paperwork signed and he can sue for what that contract said, he ain't taking him to court. I mean, like I said, there's one or two things. Either that the money that To was saying that he was promised ain't true, or he never signed a contract with Turkey. It was just a verbal agreement.
I believe he said, "Where is this thing? You know what? How many times I got to watch this thing?" I think he said he signed the contract, but I thought he said
No,
it
he
was
said
included.
no. He said he signed it. What I'm saying is he's
Okay.
lying. Either he's lying about
Oh.
it, or it's not the amount of money that he's saying. because he
You
just
know what it
said
probably
I
was,
was
D free.
because if you remember in that interview or that live that he was doing, he said I was guaranteed a certain amount of money. I'm not going to disclose it because it's none of y'all business. So he
That was
never
on the
said how much
live,
the money.
yeah.
He
Yeah, but
never
D
said
free,
how
you know
much
what it
money it
probably
was.
is. You know what it probably is. He ain't trying to fight Devin. He ain't trying to fight Boots. He's trying to fight another Claggett and get that same amount of money, and that's probably the issue. He's probably
Probably.
trying to go for a
Cloud
bum.
chasing and capping, like I said.
Yeah, I think he's probably trying to fight a bum and get maximum dollar because I was promised this much, but no, you need to fight who they tell you to fight.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. I mean, we're clear on that, boxing scholar, that Tio lies. I was concerned mostly. I thought what was interesting was the fact that he said they changed the amount, and what he said was interesting because Shakur said the same thing. Rolly said they didn't put his deposit in his account, and Carlos Adames complained about his money. So that's why I found it interesting, and I also was more inclined to believe him. But y'all, go ahead, keep believing Turkey got all this money and that he giving these motherfuckers all this goddamn bag when the proof is in the pudding that clearly something is not right. He's holding talent show auditions for an undercard where they do that at. You know what I'm saying? There's
Well, he's
numerous
doing that on
fighters.
I
Ty.
mean, but
Ty.
they
He's
they
doing that on
had
purpose. Hold on,
motherfucking
hold on,
two.
hold on,
Go
Mark.
ahead, Tony.
Hold,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. He's doing the talent show for a reason. Him and Dana White are about to start a boxing league. He's just looking for talent that's willing to get paid no money to do this damn whatever they're calling their boxing league. Like they literally brought it out. Champions
PKO,
will
I
only
think.
champions will only get paid $1 million. Challengers to belts will only get 750, and then it's like a UFC payment plan. It ain't no fucking boxer gonna go for that shit.
It's a payment scale.
Yeah, it's like
and
you
that,
get fifty
and
thousand
that's and
dollars a
that's what I'm
fight or some shit.
and that's what I was saying before, and everybody was like, nah, he got to give them more money. Now I said, nah, that's not what he said. According to his rules, it was everybody get a limited amount of money. It's the maximum you can make is a certain amount, and that was the max that you can make. And they were like, nah, they're not going to do that to a person like Shakur or whatever have you. I'm like, well, according to their rules, if you're fighting in his boxing league, that's what the rules are. So y'all can say whatever y'all want. I'm just going by what the man said.
Anybody fighting like Shakur ain't gonna make it into that league. Cause just like in the UFC, they got rules against
And see, that's what a lot of people
boring
are
ass
saying though.
performances, man.
They're saying
That ain't
that they're
true,
not
Cash.
talking about Shakur and they're not talking about Devin. They because a lot of their fan bases are upset
What's not true,
um,
nigga?
that
They don't got the no running rule in UFC.
Nigga, they got rules in UFC to where if you like not bringing the action, yes, they do, nigga. You don't know
I
what the
mean
fuck you
that's
talking about,
only if you're on the ground and you're not doing shit. But a lot
man.
of
You
No,
don't know
times
what
no,
the
they'll
no,
let
fuck
no,
you
that,
no, no,
talking
depending
no.
about,
on the
nigga.
referee, they'll let that go.
You just yapping right now, nigga.
Now I'm
Marky,
speaking facts.
that's not true,
Cite
Marky.
the
That's not
rule.
true. If they standing in the middle of the ring and nobody's throwing fights, I have seen a referee say, "Hey, y'all need to fight." I've seen a referee say that.
Have you ever
I've
seen
seen it.
somebody get a point taken?
No, because they end up fighting.
I've seen
They
that
end up
same
fighting.
shit in boxing where a referee clap his hand and say, "Come on and fight." That's not no fucking
No,
rule.
what I'm telling you, their rules are different, Marky. Their rules are different. It's a big difference from their rules, and not to mention their rings is a lot smaller too. So it ain't but so much you can do as far as running. It ain't but so much you can do.
The only official
hey
rule
so
I know for
Sting,
UFC it. Go
that's
ahead.
even worse. That's even goddamn worse. He said the challenger is 750. The champion is 750, and the challenger is only 350.
I'm trying to think of the word. They literally made up a word that for the
There's a no
UFC.
stalling rule. You can't hold somebody up against the fence or hold somebody on the ground and not be trying to advance the
You
position
don't know
or
what
throwing
you talking
punches.
about something totally different, bro. So calm your ass down. They literally
I'm
they
speaking
literally got
facts, nigga.
rules.
Combat it.
No,
You
Marky, they do
just
have a they do
Marky
have a
Dan, you
rule that
funny.
I ain't about to
you
argue with
got
this
it.
little nigga. This
They
nigga
do
don't know
have a
what he
rule
talking
that you
about.
got
Yeah,
to
because you
that you
ain't
got
got
to
the fucking
you
name of the rule you talking about. I do.
no, they do have a rule, Marky, where you have to act. You have to engage. They do have a rule. I used to be deep in the UFC, and they do have a rule where you have to engage. If you don't engage, they
I
they
know
will
for a
make
fact
you
they got
engage.
that rule.
They will make you engage.
I just can't remember the
It's a
name.
rule.
The only
It's a
MMA promotion I understand that rule to actually be in effect is in places in Asia, like Risen and Road FC. That is not in the UFC.
You don't know
I've
what you're
watched
talking about, nigga.
Anderson Silva versus and I'm sorry we taking this over to MMA, but I watched Anderson Silva versus the fucking Brazilian guy. I can't remember his name, but he they fought over there in Saudi, and it was one of the worst fights ever. Dana White was cussing and selling and calling Anderson Silva a piece of shit. They did not institute no running rule or a no action rule after that. It's just a no stall it's just a no stalling rule when you're in those
Miss
grappling
Mona said.
exchanges.
Miss Mona say it's a non-engagement rule in boxing as well.
Well, I know that in the past there have been fights that have been stopped because a referee said that both fighters have not been engaging, but that was a long ass time ago. I'd have to go back to the 50s. I can't think of anything like that recently.
Damn, how old are you, Marky
Cause we
Dan?
we watched because we watched Rigo and Casemiro in one of the worst goddamn fights ever. Like them niggas was
Marky
throwing
Dan,
two
Marky
punches
Dan,
around.
Marky Dan, Marky Dan. Here is it goes right here. It said the no running rule or tedious rule in the UFC penalize fighters for deliberately avoiding engagement such as excessive backpedaling or running away from your opponent. I told you there is a rule in the UFC.
You said it's called the no
Will
tease
they be
rule.
able to? Will they be able to implement that here? See, this is the thing, right? So he can say whatever he wants, and then obviously, if it's his card, he has the right to select who he wants to, I guess, fight on his card. But he just can't do that overall, and I think that's where people were getting confused. I think he was specifically talking about his cards and the engagement on his cards.
And it says while it's not a common enforced rule, the referee can deduct points for excessive stalling or avoiding to fight. And this is the UFC rule. I told you it was a rule. I've seen it happen before. I knew it was a rule in the UFC.
All right, I take your word for it.
Yeah, nigga, you just be yapping.
Nah,
But
I
I'm
like to
talking about as
engage
far
in
as
discourse,
boxing in
nigga.
America. He cannot. Oh my God. He cannot enforce something like that. Only thing he can do is select the boxers that he feel does not run or
Mhm.
does not,
Yeah,
I
that's what it's
guess.
called. It's called timidity. Some shit they made up. Timidity. They literally made up a word for this shit. Like, nigga, shut up, boy. You don't know what the fuck you be talking about.
So if timidity is a goddamn word, nigga, you don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, well, then I thought it was a made up word, but that's the word. That's the word they call it.
But yeah, no, like I said, I used to be deep in UFC. That's how I knew it was a rule. I just never thought about it because they never had to deduct a point or anything because the guys end up fighting. Once the referee say, "Hey, y'all need to fight," they end up fighting. But I knew that it was
Making
a
them
rule because I
engage.
used to be real deep in the UFC.
Mm.
And they trying to bring that rule over to boxing because they started this whole. This is one of the things that they're going to be putting in their TKO boxing league or whatever it have you. They
100%.
putting
You better
that
believe.
rule in their league, and they trying to
I'm gonna
bring it
be.
over to the U.S. boxing or the boxing association. They're trying to bring it over to this because people complain about the fights that he put on for Cinco de Mayo.
They want to see some
I'm
action.
gonna be honest.
Dana
Yeah.
White ain't
And
going for all that booing and shit. Like he ain't having that booing shit. He want motherfuckers in there that's gonna fight.
Yeah, he want motherfuckers to kill each other. But I'm gonna be honest. Like I said it last night on BVO. I think it would be great for the entertainment value of boxing, but the craft itself would suffer. Like we not gonna see no
what do
more
you mean
guys
by
like
that?
Muhammad. Well, what I mean by that is under a rule like that where you say a quote unquote no running rule, guys are gonna stop practicing lateral movement. We're gonna lose a lot of greats that could have been like a Cassius Clay, that could have been like a Ray Leonard. We're gonna lose a lot of
Well,
those guys to football or basketball.
Well, technically, they probably will only be doing it if you're fighting on a rehab season card because they're the ones that's trying to force this rule.
That's what
Everybody
I
else
just
ain't
said.
worried
He'll
about the rule.
probably only do it for people that fight for him. He obviously can't do it all over the sport, just a wide brush of things. But for the fighters who fight for him, I believe this is what he's trying to implement. My question then becomes, how the hell is he going to stop them?
By putting it in the contracts, it's gonna be a no running clause.
No, what they're going to do is if you start running, they're going to start deducting points. to where you're gonna have to fight because you're so far down on the scorecard. You're gonna need a knockout. That's what they're gonna do.
Yep.
I ain't mad at it, to be honest.
What up,
Like, I
y'all?
ain't trying
What's
to see
up?
no more
What's up,
William
Two Cent?
Skulls versus Canelo.
What's up,
Can I
Two
get my
Cent?
2 cents real quick?
No, but
Go
see, the
ahead.
thing is, the
Hold on, D
problem with
Free.
that is,
Hold on, D
oh my
Free. Go
bad.
ahead, Two Cent.
Um, I did a video on my page about this. Y'all should check it out. Where I'm talking about Turkey and this quote unquote no running rule. And now that I'm listening to y'all talk about it, I'm starting to develop even more theories in my mind. But in the video, I talk about how if you go look at the ABC rules for the American Boxing Commission, you'll see it says that if you running around the ring, it shouldn't be rewarded. So it's already in the rules that if you're quote unquote running around the ring, then it shouldn't be rewarded. And they have defined it's under ring generalship. They have it defined in there. They're saying if if you're not feigning or slipping or doing that and then putting yourself in a offensive position to hit back, then I guess that would be quote unquote running. So you would not get credit for that round. And so for Turkey, and then I also put out where the ABC put out a statement where they've already told Turkey that any changes to any rules, any judging, anything, it won't be considered professional boxing. They've already told him that. So he can implement whatever rules he want to implement. It's not going to be considered professional boxing if he doesn't use the rules that are already in place. Now, like I said, it's already a quote unquote no running rule in place. The thing is where this becomes controlling, in my opinion, is in the ABC rules, you have an option to do it. You just won't be rewarded. Turkey is coming at you and making it seem like you don't even have an option to do that if you fight with him. And to me, that's where the problem lies, just to give my 2 cents.
Yeah. My thing is, how you gonna is he gonna have favoritism on the people that he say is running and not running, or is it
That's
gonna
what I'm
be even
saying.
across the board?
Well, we already know he distributes favoritism anyway among some fighters. So I'm assuming that this is gonna go to who he likes and his preference and whatever else. But
I mean,
that's
I mean,
that's
I mean, let's be
go
honest.
ahead.
This is for the black fighters. This is not for no Virgil Ortiz or Canelo Alvarez. Let's just be honest. This is for the William
Yeah,
Skulls and the Devin Haney's and the Shakur Stevensons. This is for them.
William
I
Skull
mean,
is
I
not
think it's
black.
for everybody. It just so happens that these are the niggas that are doing this shit right now.
see,
That
I
that
mean,
that is
my
very true. That
the
is very
truth
true.
is, Turkey could not want to work with black fighters or have black fighters fight on Riyadh and ring cars, and let's just see where they get them.
yeah, my whole thing is, I just don't like when the quote unquote promoters get involved with the rules. Let it be the judges and the referees that's holding up the rules, not no
Yeah,
daggone promoter.
yeah.
That's not their job. Their job is not to uphold the rules. It's the judges and the referee job to uphold the rules. If they're not doing what they need to do to win a round, then the judges should score it accordingly. If they're doing something that's illegal, then the referee need to do what he need to do accordingly. Not
But
no promoters,
he not
because the
even
promoters
upholding the
always
rule.
going to favor their fighters.
He not even upholding the rule, D Free. He's telling you what he don't want to see. He not even.
No, no,
It don't even got.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm just saying I don't like when promoters get into that. I don't like when promoters talking about the rules and all that, because that's not your job. Your job is to promote your fighter.
Now you
It's
know
up
what
to
a
the
turkey
referee
fan
and the
gonna tell
judges.
you? Turkey fan gonna tell you he ain't no promoter.
He ain't no
I mean,
That's
judge
another
neither.
thing.
they're just
He
gonna
ain't no
end
judge
up.
and referee neither.
I'm
They just
with you,
gonna
bro.
end up getting stuck with lesser talent. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the whole thing, well, the whole the whole undercard fiasco. I saw a couple people posting they wanted to be on the undercard, and I don't know if he's holding tryouts, if what how this whole thing is working out, but it's becoming a bit of a mess. You know what I'm saying?
He
It's
gonna
becoming.
turn into a reality TV show. They're gonna have to stay in the
That's what
house.
I said. He doing his version of America's Got Talent, honey. Please believe me.
Hey, the
I'm
Ultimate
Turkey.
telling
Fighter
y'all,
was
TKO gonna turn into Hunger Games. I'm telling y'all.
No,
I'm
hey
what y'all not,
the
what
ultimate
y'all
the
not
Ultimate
people to
Fighter was
play.
hugely successful for the UFC. That
Y'all not
kickstarted their
peeping the
brand.
y'all not peeping the play. These guys are the guys that they're looking at who they're going to put in their new league. That's what they doing. They looking at the new guys they're going to put in their league. That's why they said we're not putting no big names on here. We just putting talent on here. They trying to
Yeah.
audition these guys for their new league. Y'all just got to look at the play.
So you think he's gonna? But okay. So here's another thing, though, D Free. I hear you what you're saying, but if they're under contract, he wouldn't be able to take them unless he's not going to start his new league until after some of those fighters' contracts are up. And to Tony's point, they ain't really offering no substantial amount. I mean, I guess it's a lot of money for these guys who are hungry, who maybe don't get a lot of fights, who aren't really making a lot in their fights. But they're gonna have to fight Godzilla going over there.
I mean, well, that depends on if these guys are guys that's under contract, and if they are under contract, who are they under contract with? Because if they're under contract with Eddie Hearn, Queensberry, or Golden Boy,
Oscar,
you know them
yeah.
guys. You know they're gonna do whatever Turkey tell them to do.
True. That's interesting. I just find this whole thing interesting. And Tucson, I don't know if you were listening before, but I posed the question based on what Tio said. Does Turkey really still have that bag? Because Tio said they changed the number on the contract the same way they did Shakur for him, which is why he didn't fight. Now we believe he's full of shit, but I do believe him. I do believe him about Turkey changing the amount of money he said he was going to give them, because it's literally almost verbatim what Shakur said.
Shout out to 2 Cents. That debate.
Yeah, and then it's always some technicality about why it's different, right? Like to me, the things I hear about Turkey and when I see what he's doing, especially in the public, it's textbook manipulation.
Absolutely, narcissism.
It's textbook, and yeah, like it's crazy, and it just seems like he promises, and we see him do it to the public. He promises one thing, and it might either he's lying about not being, because I feel like either you lied about not having a Netflix deal and doing all that, or you lying about having it now, because it ain't no way you just all of a sudden getting a fight in Vegas and you on the Netflix.
And originally, remember what was said, that he disrespected that woman that works at Netflix, which is why the Netflix deal fell apart originally. That's what was stated. So, you know, if you went back there and you made nice with her or whatever the case may be, but you're right, it is all over the place. And they have stated that it's going to be in Las Vegas, but still we don't have an actual venue.
Netflix not the right.
So that's what I'm saying. So you just say it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't be fooling with Turkey, honestly. And all of y'all, all of those fans that encourage the sweet science boxers to go over there, is blowing up in y'all face now. And now y'all mad. And now y'all want to be mad at Showbiz, and this Showbiz is not the one changing the rule. That's Turkey.
Your debate aging like fine wine, girl.
But
absolutely. Absolutely.
I only think that it applies to the ones that are going to fight for him. It can't. He can't apply that to everybody.
Yeah, but they're with Turkey. So if I'm let's say if I'm a Shakur Stevenson and I get into the Williams to pay the fight, and let's say I get injured and I need to move around in that manner in order to survive and be able to win this fight, what does that mean, Turkey? What you gonna say? Like, what can you do what can you do? That's why I don't understand him even coming out with, I don't want to see no more Tom and Jerry fights. Like, what you gonna do if it is?
What are you gonna do if they do run around? What exactly are you going to do? Who knows, yo? Who knows? That was just one of the questions that I had posed. What is he actually going to do? How is this the biggest 2 stars in boxing? And just what is we doing about this undercard? And Edwin do you think that Edwin De Los Santos should sue Top Rank, because he had mentioned that they might be going in that direction because they still have not received their full purse?
Oh yeah, if you owe me money, of course I'm gonna sue you. I mean, what else I'm supposed to do? Bob Arum always getting sued, so he already know the routine.
He didn't fight, and I believe they gave him $165,000 so far, and they told him, I guess they told him basically like you have to wait because obviously they lost money on that event, so they're trying to figure out if I guess what's going to be what they're going to have left, I guess.
I mean, either he gonna sue him and they gonna pay him that way, or they gonna pay him the regular way. But either way, from my understanding, it's like a rule in Virginia that he should get his purse. So they may make you just go through the process and sue them to be a-holes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
Tommy, man.
I can
Good
agree with
luck,
that.
good
Angry
luck suing
Mexican.
Bob Arum.
Well, yeah, that's what I've heard, that he got an ironclad contract. You know what I'm saying? So who knows?
Yeah, you see, motherfuckers sitting out for 2 years because of Bob
Yeah,
Arum.
he'll shelf you. I just came back. But
Oh,
the big thing though is I see it as going to be the biggest issue is the fight was still offered to De Los Santos, and he decided not to do it because of the weight difference.
absolutely.
Yeah, so he kind of turned down his payday.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Well, he did because he was offered the money and the fight.
But you were contracted at a certain weight.
But
You
I
don't
don't
have to
have to
take
take
it
the fight.
away.
At some point, I have look. At some point, I could decide on if I want to take the fight or not, and if I decide not to, it's not an infraction against me because of the rule in Virginia. Now that would be a good case study to look up and maybe follow and
I
see how this
am.
works out, because
I
that's
am gonna
interesting
look
what
that
you
up.
that's interesting what you're saying. He was offered the fight.
Yeah, but he was offered it after at what was it? 140 after or something of that nature. Well, let me see. 135 pounds.
I'm gonna hop off
Okay.
real quick, Jack. I'll
Keyshawn
be
didn't
right back.
train. Yeah. So basically, he said that Keyshawn didn't train, basically didn't make the weight. But I thought, I was under the impression that if you miss weight, then that's a whole other contract that needs to be done, because now you're not fighting at the contracted weight.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how the contract's laid out. I don't know if it was a contractual for X amount of weight class or X fighter fights X fighter, like the fact that you're getting the fight. So I don't know. I know there's probably so many like clauses in it, but at the end of the day, like I said, Bob Arum was a business lawyer. So I don't think a business lawyer is going to leave themselves open, or at least not have that many openings to be left open.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know. I just know that I mean, hell, who really knows what Ellis Santos can do? But I do believe that they should give him. I mean, he didn't fight. Take the 165 unless you want to spend money to go to court to try and recoup some more money. Honestly, that's really up to him and his team what he decides to do with that. But me personally, if you told me you were going to give me the whole 330K or whatever the case may be, then I want all my money. Absolutely. Dank Father, what's up? Can you hear us?
Give me
Yeah,
a
I agree
second.
with you. I
Give me
agree
a
with you,
second. I'll be
Ty.
right back. Give me a second.
If if
How
Bob
you gonna
actually
come up
told
here,
him,
nigga?
if
Uh-huh.
Bob actually came to him and told him we're gonna pay you anyways because Keyshawn Lil Kiki was unprofessional, then it's kind of messed up if he doesn't pay him.
Miss Mona said it's a contracted weight. Okay, so I was right. If I'm contracted to fight you at this particular weight and you miss weight, that invalidates the contract, and we would have to do another one. But you still owe me my money. You miss weight, I didn't. After a 2-year layoff, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying. You gotta. No, I don't think that he's on. I don't think that. But I just mean for him to spend money. I no, Windy City. I don't think that. I know damn well Al got money. I was speaking just in terms of if he wanted to spend the money to go to court. Not saying he didn't have it. I'm just saying if he weighed his options, like, you know what I'm saying. Either way, like, do I want to spend my money and my time going to court to chasing this money when I already got paid this money and I didn't have to fight? That's what I meant.
Well, if he takes it to court and he's only missing what you said, he already got paid 150. How much is
5K,
he's been paid? How much?
165,000.
Okay,
The
165,000.
Scholar, what's up? Yeah, 165,000, and he wants the rest of his money. The rest of the purse would have been about 335, something like that.
Yeah, it would cost them more in legal fees trying to fight it out than he'll get back.
It is D Free. Thank you for reminding me. It is. It includes Keyshawn. It's Keyshawn and Top Rank. What's up, thank Father? The scholar
Shit,
was good.
I'm here. I'm here. You know I'm here to cut stop all the cap. What we up here capping about?
Yeah, you tell me what we up here capping about since you came up here with your cape on.
You supposed to have
I
your
don't
list,
I don't
brother.
have no cake, queen.
Uh
But
huh.
the
You
the
supposed to have
rumor
your list.
about Adamas
He ain't got no fucking list
not
for
getting
scholar.
responded
He up here lying.
on
Huh?
Twitter.
Say that again, babe. I didn't hear you. What you say, Dank Father?
Man, we talk about Tom and Jerry. Sound like he fell down the stairs and got hit in the head by a pen.
What's up? What's up, the scholar?
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna join earlier, but your panel get a little too aggressive for me. But I was
No.
gonna say, man, this might be the most dangerous rule of all time, right? Because
Uh huh.
somebody in the chat was talking about the excessive clinching. There's been fights that have been
Yeah.
stopped before because of excessive, but the referee has had years of studying the difference between clinching, warnings, and stuff like that. This
Okay.
rule is so fresh. We don't even have a clear definition of what running is. When Muhammad Ali came in the game, they say he was a runner. You know what I mean? Willie Pep was a runner, but they didn't say he was a runner. They said he was a great boxer. So if you given a sport that's already corrupt, we done seen people win fights and their eyeballs be hanging out and they done got beat to death, right? And the referee still raised their hand because our sport is corrupt. Now you gonna give discretion to the referee to affect the fight. You know what I mean? Because he could justify it, right? He could say, well, there was no action happening. The guy was running, so I took a point. Now he can directly affect the outcome of the fight. That is
That's
dangerous.
true. That's true. That's true. Well, I mean, isn't that what their job is, though? Isn't that what a part of their job is?
Oh, absolutely. Their job is to make sure it's a fair fight, and nobody gets an advantage. But like, okay, we go to Bernard Hopkins. We already know Bernard Hopkins was dirty, right? Bernard Hopkins knew where the referee was at all times. He would hit you low and do stuff like that. But he was smart enough. Everybody said Bernard Hopkins was a practitioner in the sweet science. That's part of the game. Like I don't like runners. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I like aggressive fighters. I
Mm-hmm.
like knockouts, like everybody else. But I do understand that when you sign your name on a contract and your job is boxing and you're going in there with a runner, you have to stop him from running. You got two
Yeah.
legs and 2 feet. Go stop him from, what he gonna do. Pacquiao knew what Floyd was gonna do. Go stop him.
Mm. I don't think I like the accusation of Floyd being a runner, but continue.
But no, the reason I bring that up is because after Floyd won, Freddie Roach and Pacquiao went to the media and said, I had a bum shoulder and all Floyd did was run and he robbed the fans. And I'll fight him for free if we get the rematch. You remember all this? So it's
Okay.
like, okay, let's say we had this rule that they talk about now. And in the fight, they say, hey, wait, Floyd, you running too much. Let me take a you see what I'm saying? Like, even when Showbiz came up with this rule that he was tweeting at Turkey and got on Turkey's radar with, which is funny to me because I know Turkey don't know shit about no Tom and Jerry. I know for a
Exactly.
fact he don't know nothing about. But when he was tweeting at him and stuff, and he got Turkey's attention, I was like, wait a minute, because I've been following Turkey. Turkey said his favorite fighter was Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes could be considered a runner. He's invited Devin Haney openly before, just like during the Regis Prograis fight, to his country to fight. And I'm like, this can't be his viewpoint. This got to be somebody in Turkey's ear that's telling them this. But even Showbiz said, Sugar Ray Leonard in the second fight with Roberto Durant, the referee would have been able to stop it and say, let's get the action going. I'm like, we would have never got the no mas. That's one of the most famous sayings in boxing. Down goes Frazier and no mas.
Mm-hmm. No mas.
It would have been
Okay.
affected by that stupid rule that they trying to. I just think it's dumb.
I mean, and listen, I agree with you, but just to play devil's advocate, right? What if he's like, if you want to come fight for me, you can't do that. Of course, we're gonna say, how the hell can you implement that? That's my whole thing. How are you going to implement something like that?
He gonna have to have a referee and tell the referee his definition of that, and hopefully the referee understands. And like, what if a
Nah,
referee don't call it, and then he get mad at him and fire him because he didn't call excessive running when he should have? Like, it's just dumb. It's hard to enforce.
Dank Father, what's up?
Can y'all hear me now? Everything good?
You
Yeah.
paid your phone bill? Yes, we can hear you.
We ain't got to ever question that. It's on auto pay, Queen.
Oh, please. What is it? What's up? Who was up here lying? Because I know you about to start capping and
uh,
caping. What's up?
yeah, there was clear capping about Turkey not paying his fighters. That
Oh boy.
Adamas rumor was started by someone on Twitter who was
Mm,
upset
mm,
that he
mm.
got robbed in that match against Hamza Shiraz. Adamas and his management cleared that up and said they were paid on time. When it came to Rolly said there was no per diem. He didn't say he didn't get his pay. He said there was no accommodations for him on the leading up to the fight,
That's not true.
hotel, etc.,
That's,
etc. What?
and he didn't get his deposit. He didn't get his
I didn't hear.
5%.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part, but I heard the per diem. That's what I took from him. And then he cleared it up and said everything was sorted out 24 hours later. So let me ask the guy, everyone on the panel, why do y'all think the Tiafimo fight isn't happening? Is it because of money or is it something else?
T.O. scared. That's my opinion.
Um, okay. And what's up, Tony? What do you think?
T.O. versus who?
I think Devin, right? Thank five. That's what you told.
Yeah, Haney, because I could have swore everybody was saying he didn't take the fight due to money, due to Turkey changing up the price point for him.
Well, hold on, because that's not what everybody said. That's what came out of Tio's mouth, and I know you heard me play that video. We didn't say
Oh,
it. Tio did.
okay. What was the statement his management came out with?
They said that he was not ready to fight because he was taking some time off for personal reasons. I thought that was cap as well, but continue.
Mm, I rest my case. Keith Conley told us everything we needed to know. He won't be he
Um,
won't be fighting
I'm
due to
not sure
personal reasons.
exactly that. I'm
I'm
not
gonna be
sure if
honest
that
with
makes
you.
any
I,
sense.
I don't think I don't think there's a D level fighter breathing that's scared of Devin. Like Devin ain't got nothing for you to be scared of. The only thing that Devin can do is outpoint you. He's not gonna beat you up. He's not gonna hurt you, and he sure as hell ain't gonna knock you out. So I don't think any fighter is scared of Devin.
Uh,
If
See,
anything,
now you guys are they go to power drunk stuff. When you're getting outpointed, that means you're getting beat up. You're getting hit,
True.
no, it doesn't. No, it
and you're
doesn't.
not hitting me back.
No, the
So what
hell
does
they
that
No, it
mean?
don't.
doesn't.
No, it don't.
No, it doesn't. You can outpoint somebody and them not even look like they've been in a damn fight. Beating somebody up is physically damaging them. That's beating somebody up.
I mean,
Outpointing somebody is just touching them and skating on to the victory.
I
There's a
say this,
complete
bro.
difference.
That's part of the game, bro. Nobody cares. That like I feel like the elephant in the room is this, bro. The reason why they want to implement this rule, this no running rule, bro, is because black people are athletic and we get hit and get away and get out the way fast
Absolutely.
feet. Right. So they want to implement this rule to try to handicap us. For years, I listened to Robert Garcia when he was about to fight Mayweather. He talked about how Mayweather was boring. Well, Marcos McDonald was about to fight. He talked about how Mayweather was boring. Then I seen a clip when he was with Bam, he was like, well, if I could have fought like that in my time, I would have fought like that. I'm like, that's the elephant in the room, bro. They want to handicap. If they implement this rule, I guarantee Caleb Plant will never get this call against him. Lomachenko will never get this call against him. You know who it's going to be? Black fighters.
Absolutely, because we're the biggest threat to him in the game.
Well, hold on. I'm going to offer just a little bit of pushback for that, Discala, because not all black fighters fight like that. There's two in particular whose fan bases are now on Twitter having a meltdown, and that is Devin and Shakur. Those are the only two black fighters that I can think of when I saw him write Tom and Jerry. Those are the two fighters that I thought of. I didn't think of a
Most
Keyshawn. I didn't think of a Tank Davis. I didn't think of any other black fighter. I thought of those two in particular. So I don't think that he was
almost
referring to all black fighters when he said that.
Hey
He
Ty,
was he was prefer he
almost.
was
Hold on,
talking
hold
to
on, hold on,
all
hold on.
slick black
Pause.
fighters. The
You
Chris
you can
Colbert.
only
Hold on.
name
My
you
Hold
bad.
can
Go
only
on.
ahead.
name you can only name a handful of fighters that are black that fight like Shakur or like Devin did in his last fight. Only a handful. Most of your great black fighters were beating people up. Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, even Muhammad Ali was coming at you. Yes, he moved, but he attacked you and knocked you out. Um, Larry Holmes destroys you with a jab. Like you go on and on. Hagler, Hearn. These aren't runners. Even Sugar Ray Leonard will get in the pocket and trade with you and beat you up. In fact, with Sugar Ray Leonard, you could only really go to one fight that he allegedly ran in, and that was against Hagler. That's it.
Wait a
Other than
minute.
that,
And Durant? Because he fought Durant in the pocket the first time and got beat up, and then in the second time he used his legs.
He also fought him in the second. Do you know what was the outcome of the second fight?
Somebody microphone. Somebody wired up. Come on now. I'm gonna have to shut down the car. Y'all
What,
trying to
what was the
wiretap.
outcome of the Durant Sugar Ray Leonard 2 fight?
He quit because he couldn't catch Ray Leonard.
No, because he was getting beat the fuck up.
No, he couldn't catch him too. That was part of. So this what I'm trying to say. Look, not every black fighter fights the same. We all know this. Come on, bro. It's like basketball. You got different styles, different strokes for different folks. But this is what
That's
I'm
true.
saying. When you look at the people who are super duper athletic, who has the ability to use their legs, hit you and get a mile away from you, they tend to be black fighters. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
but
saying.
what I'm saying is when you look at the history of boxing of all the greatest fighters, there's very few that you're gonna come up with that there's a difference in being in the pocket, like a sweet pea, being in the pocket and not getting hit, and then staying a million miles away where you're not throwing punches at them and they can't get close enough to hit you. That's a whole different style of fighting. And those are very limited to the fighters who have actually fought like that.
Bro, they said Sweet Pea was a runner during his time. They said Oscar De La Hoya beat him, and all he did was run. That's a bad example to use.
Watch him fight. That man
No, no,
just
no.
just
I
just
didn't
like
say I
just like
agree with him. I said what they said about Sweet Pea during that time.
but no, I don't agree with you. I think the only person during that era, even with like a Winky Wright, that they called a runner was Mayweather, and I disagree with that. And that was an old Mayweather, like young Mayweather, Pretty Boy Floyd. They never called him a runner. Why? Because he was knocking out damn near everybody he fought.
But bro, are you seeing the trend that you saying? So Sweet Pea, you disagree with him, but they
Oh,
said he was a runner.
I'm purposely sticking with the trend because you said black fighters. Now we could go to white fighters. They were calling Tyson Fury a runner for the longest. He
No,
got
they
no
said
power.
Tyson Fury
A
blocks.
Batman is a runner.
Bro, they
All he
said
did was
he
run from
boxed
Klitschko.
beautifully.
A Batman. Are you serious?
What's
Like the
up?
Klitschko fight with Fury, all they said was all he did was run.
Bro, they praised Tyson Fury. They made Tyson Fury the next coming of Jesus Christ, bro. When
They
Tyson Fury,
called that was after he beat Deontay Wilder. When he fought Vladimir Klitschko and stopped his 10-year reign, all they said was is all he did was run. He ran. He didn't throw any punches. He just ran from Klitschko the whole time. That's all he did was
Lucky,
just
what's up?
run.
Hold up,
Hey,
Tone. What's
bro.
up, Lucky? What's up,
Hey, what's
Lucky?
going on, Jab Queen? How you doing? Can you hear me?
What's up? Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Hey, look. We all know that they talking about Devin. They're not talking about nobody else. So naming all these other fighters is just useless. They talking about Devin. Nobody ever ran like Devin in his last fight. You have never seen it on TV or anywhere else.
William Skull.
We not William
Nah.
Skull is not even somebody we know about for real. So they're not even talking about Skull. You might never see Skull again.
You know why you'll never see him again? Because he ran against Canelo the entire fight.
You never seen him before the fight.
Yes, I
that's
have.
true. I ain't know nothing about no skull, bro. I like who they get a belt to.
Yeah.
I watched him fight for that belt.
Was it exciting? Did he run in that fight?
Okay, so at the end of the day, y'all assume that he
Hold on,
sold.
my bad. I was muted. I was talking. Did you say was it
Oh.
exciting?
Yeah. What did he run in that fight?
No, he didn't run. He was actually landing a lot of shots in that fight against I forget Buddy's last name, but he was an Eastern European. His name was Vladimir some shit, but he was hitting him a lot. That's the first time Scholes ever fought like that.
Klitschkin? Is my Vladimir Klitschkin or Klitschko?
No. Who William Skull fought? It was Vladimir some shit with an S. I don't remember what his name was.
But this is what I was going. This the point I was gonna make earlier, bro. Because you know you was talking about Willie. You're not Willie Pep. You was talking about Sweet Pea, and you said you disagree with what people said about him running, which I agree with you. He was boxing, but then also Floyd Mayweather. They said Floyd Mayweather was a runner, and I disagree with them too, and you also do. But are you noticing the trend? Anytime it's a fighter that is dominating the game, who knows how to hit and not get hit, everybody's calls them a runner. It's kind of like this, bro. Sometimes I'll be playing Madden, bro, and I'll be thrashing them, bro. Just throwing bombs, throwing bombs. You know what they'll say? They'll cut their mic on. They mute the whole time. They cut their mic on and say, bro, all you doing is throwing. I bet you won't run. Bro, why I gotta change the rules? I'm finna get this W. That's the same way Floyd mindset was and anybody else who wins, but it's always a consistent theme with them,
Yeah,
bro.
but
Anytime it's a black fighter, they always want to
I've
handicap us to
never.
fight how they think
I,
we should fight.
I'm just saying, I've never. Before this moment right now, I've never heard anybody refer to Sweet Pea as a runner. Like I've never read an article. I've never seen anybody. I've never heard anybody call him it. Did this you telling me
Bro,
they called him a
bro,
runner is the first time I've ever heard Sweet Pea called a
All
runner.
right, hold on. So
Because
the bottom line is this. Hold on, y'all. The bottom line is this. Again, if this is what he's saying, right? It really only it applies to the two fighters that I mentioned earlier. However, I guess I don't know if he's doing it in general or he's if he's okay. If he is, I guess, basically pointing them out or saying, I don't want this. What is he going to do about it? I think that's the question. If you see them doing this, what are you going to do? Are you going to take points? Are you going to stop the fight? Like, what is he really hoping to achieve by
bro,
putting this online?
Ty, you have to understand something. You could go back and see videos I got from way back. So Showbiz likes to steal stuff from smaller channels. And I've been talking about it was never a no run rule. That shit is just stupid. He took an idea from me because one of his moderators is sub to me. So sometimes when I make videos, obviously he goes and tells Showbiz because Showbiz will come out with a video like a day or two later on the same fucking topic that I brought up. I don't agree with no running rule. I think that is stupid. What is running? I don't know what running is. What I was always talked about, and I've been talking about this for years, is a no engagement rule. It doesn't matter if you're an outboxer, an aggressive fighter, because I've seen shorter aggressive fighters not want to engage and they just play keep away because they can't win. They're getting counterpunched. So they go on the back foot and they never throw shots. To me, it should not be about running, quote unquote, if that's like lateral movement is what they're talking about. It should be engagement. If you haven't thrown a punch in, say, 20, 30, 40 seconds, or the only punch you've thrown was like flicking in the air while you're running, then that's an issue. And it should be warned. Like there's got to be some type of action happening. You can't just be running away and not fighting back. So if it was
exactly,
like a
exactly.
no engagement rule, I would agree with that. Just like in basketball, you got a shot clock. You got a certain amount of time you can be in that paint until you got to let that shot go. Just like in boxing, you got a certain amount of time in that ring that you got to at least try to hit somebody. But if you're just going to stay running the whole time and not engaging, then that's different than somebody who's jabbing you and moving.
Bro,
I think
usually guys that run a lot, they're counter punchers. Devin didn't even throw no counters. He wasn't trying to fight. He looked like Martin when he went against Tommy Hearns. Like he literally looked bad.
so this is what I say, bro. This is what I say. This is why I don't like this type of. I feel like boxing is good the way it is. And somebody cooking eggs.
No,
That's
I
Dad
was
Queen
actually,
over there.
yeah, I'm not making no damn eggs though, but go ahead.
Your scramble game good, girl. You scraping like a no, but this is why I say we need to just leave boxing alone, right? Because I look at stuff like with Mugia. Mugia tested positive. You know what I mean? It was a little bit of outrage. Nobody said, "Hey, man, let's go investigate the Reynosos. Why all they fighters
I
testing
did.
positive?"
I did.
You know,
I said somebody need to shut down that
I
Carter over
mean,
there. Because
I
Reynosa
mean,
was
it's a
damn sure to
whole.
push him, man.
but you know
I mean,
what though, the scholar that's a horrible example to use because if you're going with the rule is against black fighters, right? Devin lost to a drug cheat, alleged drug cheat in Ryan, right? And then Ryan ended up getting his win taken away. Guess what? That electrician that lost to Munguia still has a loss on his record, and Munguia still has a win.
no, okay. So I was bringing it up to say this.
No, I think it was
Um,
changed for no contest, Tony.
No, it wasn't. Go look at it.
They
Go
still
right
haven't
now and look at
changed
Box
it?
Rec. No, they
That's
have not.
crazy.
It's not getting changed. It's staying a loss on that dude's record.
The point I was making is this, bro. Our focus be on the wrong shit, bro. The rules of boxing is fine. It's the corruption that's in boxing that's the problem. Like they want to focus on, hey, let's change the rule. Let's do this. Listen, man, running is a part of the game. Listen, fighters are not robots. They get tired in there. So sometimes they might clinch you, like Floyd Mayweather, take a deep breath, and then get back to pumping a jab. Now, what if the referee say, hey, Floyd, you're doing that too many times. Let's stop doing that. Like, bro, what are you talking? It's a part of the game, bro. It's a part of
Bro,
boxing, bro. That's a part of the
bro,
strategy.
bro. Can you just tell me right now that you seen what Devin Haney did in his last fight? You seen that before?
No, but like in boxing, period.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Have you seen somebody literally run like
Yes,
that and
yes. I've
throw
seen
no
boxers get in
punches?
there and do that. Yeah,
And they throw
bro.
no punches at all?
Willie Pep's legends. Willie Pep's legend, bro, is that he won a round without throwing a punch. And you know what Willie Pep is? White, bro. You remember y'all was talking about those
Bro,
rules about not engagement, bro? Everybody talk about how great Willie Pep is, bro. Willie Pep said he was an undersized boxer. So his motto is this, bro. He who hits and runs away lives to fight another day. He put run in his motto, bro. And nobody ever said Willie Pep was horrible fighter. All he did is run because Willie Pep was able to do what the athletic black fighters do. And they praise it. They're like Eminem or anybody else, right? And that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like they're focused on the wrong thing. They should be focused on the corruption, not the rules of boxing. The rules of boxing are fine, bro. If you get in there and you sign your name to a contract and you don't know that Shakur is a runner and you don't get in there and try to stop him from running, you're an idiot.
bro,
Well,
look,
you know
I
what?
think
Hold
I,
I
on.
I think we
mean,
getting it
Hold
misunderstood.
on. Hold on. Hold on. I think that the problem is it's not about you want to say running, okay, fine, excessive lateral movement, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it's not a part of boxing, in my opinion. What Devin did is not a part of boxing. People pay for entertainment, right? People want to see you engage. That's the whole point of the boxing match. You have to engage. If you're not going to engage, or if you're scared, or whatever the case may be, then you shouldn't be in that ring.
Bro, it's just like having a job. If I have two people working for me, one person show up every day doing their job, the other one keep coming in being lazy. If you're gonna keep being lazy, don't come back to work. You don't have to work here, work somewhere else. You don't have
Let
to
me tell
work
you why.
here.
You want me to tell you why I call cap on that? So I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but whenever I look in the audience, I see mostly adults, and they know that that's a fake sport, right? So they go
Yeah.
to a fake sport. I've never seen no petition to start throwing real punches in wrestling.
Hey,
It's
bro.
only
Hey,
in
look.
boxing, bro, when
I'm
people go in there and they win a fight. Right. And they don't take damage where people will say, no, 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 you need to take damage for my entertainment. Listen, you don't demand this out of no other sport. So don't come to boxing and try to do it. Just respect the sign. What they say, don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique, man. It is what it is. I'm
all
not
right.
a
So
fan
Okay,
look,
of that
bro. Look,
style
hey,
either.
bro. You just brought up wrestling, and wrestling is fake. Correct, right? Wrestling is fake. Why
Of course.
is why it look more physical than Devin fight?
Bro, what?
Why do wrestling matches look more physical than
It
Devin last
don't.
fight?
It don't. Devin took real
Yes, they
punches, bro.
do.
They don't take real punches. They just make noises and stomp on the
I
ground.
know it's not real punches, but it look more physical. It's more action, bro. It sells more
I
than a
guess that's
Devin fight.
subjective. Bro. You give me. I'd rather watch Shakur fight again than watch any wrestling match. I've outgrown that part of my
I
life. But I'm saying
understand
it's
Shakur.
entertainment.
I
So,
understand Shakur, but the rule ain't about Shakur. The rule is about Devin.
but this is what I'm trying to say, bro. If they will show up to a fake
well, wait a
event,
minute now, because they could throw Shakur in there too.
I just
Yeah,
don't feel
because
like
his
the
fight is
rule.
leading up. His fight is leading up.
I just don't feel like the rule has anything to do with how Devin fought Ramirez. I really feel like it's more William Skull. Because William Skull, he said out his mouth he didn't show up to win. Literally said
Bro,
it at the fight that he didn't try to win the fight. So
bro.
that tells
All
you
right.
everything you need to know. As far as Devin goes, in my opinion, Devin dominated Ramirez. Was it impressive? No, but he
He
dominated him.
dominated, bro. Oh my
Yeah,
god. Okay.
he
he
I don't,
did, bro.
I don't,
he dominated him. He
I don't
dominated him.
agree with that at all. He ain't
How many
dominated a
rounds y'all
damn
give
thing.
Ramirez?
Maybe
I didn't
one.
give either one of them anything. I wanted to get their,
I
I
ain't
wanted
give
to
him
beat both of
nothing.
them.
Bro, how you score? Excuse me, sis and bro. How y'all score a round and not give it to somebody?
Let me ask you this,
The
bro. We had
first
a guy on the
round, neither
panel.
one of them really did anything. But if you want to do for punches, Devin threw maybe more punches than him in the first round, which was only maybe one or two. But he wasn't throwing no punches like that either. Neither
And you know
one.
why?
One nigga was scared, the other nigga glad that nigga scared. That's how it
And
looked to me.
you know why I call cap on this? You know why I call cap on this is because Mayweather break all kind of pay-per-view numbers, and we know Mayweather wasn't fit to go. And it wasn't when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, when he was standing in the pocket. It was when he was using his legs and his brain. That's when he made the most money. See,
Bro,
what I
why are
noticed
you
about
bringing up
this,
Mayweather in the same sentence with Devin?
why you focus on Mayweather and Devin, and you missing the forest for the trees, brother.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Lucky, go ahead, Scholar.
I feel like the fact of the matter is this: if we was tuning in to see Mayweather, who we know wasn't going, go out there and try to knock anybody out, he was just going to win. We knew that about Mayweather; he was going to retire undefeated and win. Then why do we get mad at other fighters who for winning? It doesn't make any sense because this is what I know about boxing people, right? Brandon Rios. I don't know if y'all know him. Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado got some exciting fights. I've never seen no playback value on them. Pro Box be having events where they just be standing in the pocket slugging the shit out of each other. You got bare knuckle. The fact of the matter is this: people people say that they want in the pocket fighters, but those fighters do not last long. They be washed up at like 27, 26 years old. It's the people that don't get hit a lot that have the longevity to where they're talking about them. People like to see dominance too. They like to see somebody reigning for a long time. So the fighters that are in the top pound for pound, it's no coincidence that a lot of them know how to hit and not get hit.
Yeah, but my issue with what you're saying is Floyd, in my
I
opinion,
got
doesn't
issue
fall
with
into
that
that
too.
category because Floyd would stand in the center of the ring and walk
Make you
fighters
miss and make you
down,
pay.
whether
Yep.
he was using his legs or not. In portions of the fight, he would still stand in the pocket and walk you down with that invisible shield that he used to have, where he lift his left forearm up and down that was like lateral to the ground. Like he would literally come forward and snipe you with shots. He wasn't always moving around. He was still coming forward. He was still hitting fighters left and right, making them look dumb, hitting them with counter shots. To me, that's completely different than running. Running is, if we're gonna say running, and I don't like the word running because I don't believe truly in running. I believe in not engaging. Floyd would engage the entire time. There wasn't, like, if you're coming forward, Floyd is touching you in the face with a jab and getting off the line. So I don't even see how Floyd equivalates to running.
I've
Because they
never
call
seen
for it.
Floyd. I've never seen Floyd even fight around doing what Devin was doing. Like I've never seen that. And I watched all Floyd's fights. So like that's total cap, man.
I think y'all missing what I'm saying. I'm bringing Floyd up because they said Floyd was boring. Y'all think Floyd was exciting?
For sure.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're in a small
Well,
minority on that one, brother.
Well, whether he was boring or exciting is irrelevant from the fact of whether he was running. Like you could be a fighter coming forward and be boring, but that doesn't mean that you're not, like, that doesn't mean you're running by default. The question is running, and again, I don't like the word running. I think that's stupid. A no running rule. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It should be a no engagement rule.
I don't know
I
too
feel
many
like
fighters that come forward that are
I feel
boring.
like a lot of people talk shit about Floyd because they only seen the latter part of his career. Like I
I'll tell
seen
you a boring fighter
all of
right
Floyd's
now.
career, so like I know that Floyd could do whatever he want any given minute. Like so,
Hey,
I
the
don't judge
scholar,
that
you
nigga
you
just from his later part of his career. I remember him knocking out everybody and beating the dog shit out of everybody. Like so that
hold
whole
on, hold on, hold on.
Floyd
I'm
wasn't
gonna prove
running
my
shit
point.
don't make no sense to me.
Hey, let me prove my point real fast to the scholar. I'll
Yeah.
give you a fighter that used to come forward a lot. That was trash and boring to watch. Paula Malignaggi. He didn't always fight off the back foot. There were
No, he
several fights
absolutely
where,
no,
yes,
absolutely not.
there
Paulie
were
fought on the
several.
back foot.
Go
Yes,
watch Paulie fights. There were several
Paul.
fights where he was coming forward.
The one
Yeah.
fight that Paulie didn't do that was when he got with Buddy McGirt, and we know the result of that, bro. He was stretched, and he said Buddy McGirt ruined his style. And him and Buddy have a beef right now because he said his style was to fight off the back foot. If you go listen to Paulie
No,
talk
go
about
go
Devin,
actually
he
watch
talks
them
about the
fight.
similarities in their style, bro. Paulie definitely did not come for it. That's crazy, bro.
But fighting off the
He
back foot
most
is
At
definitely
the
different.
did go forward.
At the end of the day, I think there's a big difference between Devin Haney and Floyd Mayweather. Okay, Floyd will get right in that pocket, make you miss and make you pay. The same as people compare him to Shakur, which I don't believe there's a comparison either. Shakur does not engage. I understand y'all say the sweet science and he's defensively responsible. The problem is his offense is lacking. Okay, he jumps too far out of range to even counter at times. So I believe that these are the type of fighters that he is talking about. And is true what you say, obviously you can't change how somebody's been fighting for their entire career. Well, then guess what? Just be happy with what we pay you. Be happy with the limited amount of fan base that you have, because believe it or not, or want to accept it or not, there are far more casuals than diehards in the sport of boxing that will pay to see fights. And if you are not fighting in the style that they like to watch, then guess what? They are not going to pay to see you.
Hey, Queen, that's the point that I'm making, Queen. I think that those people are full of shit. I think that Floyd laid a blueprint that people not following. That if you the sweet science, if you practice the sweet science, all you got to do is talk a bunch of stuff, make people show up to see you lose. Because they said the reason I brought up Floyd is because they said Floyd's style was boring. I mean, we know this, not our personal opinion. When he was actually fighting, 100% of Mexican fans said all he do is run. Let's keep it real, right? So that's the reason I'm bringing up Floyd Mayweather. There's been times where Floyd Mayweather hurt his right hand, Andre Berto fight, and he just got on his bicycle the later rounds and just won the fight. But Floyd Mayweather was still a high earner in the sport of boxing, and he did that because he talked a bunch of shit. Mexicans are the number one consumers of boxing, and they want to change the rules for boxing. That's why they give Floyd this mythical loss. And he really lost to Castillo. You look on BoxRec, 100% of the time, he still got that W, but they show up to try to see you lose. And I think Devin and Shakur should try to follow that angle, in my personal opinion. Talk a bunch of shit.
I think that's the dumbest fight too. Like, I really believe people who say Floyd lost to Castillo didn't even watch the fight. Like, it was clear as day that Floyd washed him 7-5 easy, and that's being generous. 7-5.
So I mean, and to your point, they can just show up and fight however it is they fight. The problem is, like I said, Floyd was not boring, and anybody who said that is plain day a hater. Now, he did get a lot of hate, you know what I'm saying, towards the end of his career, because to your point, he did talk a lot of shit, but he backed it up. He backed it up with action, yo.
Thank
You
you.
think if
Thank
Floyd
you.
got in there, if Floyd got in there and quote unquote ran for 12 rounds in every fight, he would have half as many fans? You think that arena would be half as packed? You think
Floyd
Yeah.
would
anybody
have
would give a damn if he lost? No, because nobody would care
Yes.
about him either way.
Yes, sis, I
Floyd would
think.
have never been what he was without that Pretty Boy Floyd stage of his career. That's where he gained all his diehard fans. Like,
Bro,
so
bro, even
these
even
niggas are
Money
trying to get
May.
the money made checks without going through the Pretty Boy Floyd gauntlet. Like, that shit ain't
Bro,
gonna work
bro, even Money May fought harder than Devin, bro.
for sure. 100%, man.
So
What?
when these guys are sitting here mentioning Mayweather name, you ain't supposed to mention Mayweather name in the same sentence with Devin.
No, never.
Devin,
No,
Well,
no.
I I don't know. Like, first off, like, look, I don't think Devin has power, and I've always said Devin needs to be a back foot fighter because he don't have the firepower, the artillery to hurt anyone. But outside of the Ramirez fight, that's the first time he's ever fought like that. Even whenever he was getting hurt against Ryan Garcia, he was still coming
why
to the
did he fight
pocket.
like that though, bro? Why did he fight like that?
Because I mean, it's clear because he was getting mollywopped in his last fight. He got dropped, truth be told, 5 times, even though they didn't count them all. He got dropped 5 fucking times. So of course
So
you're gonna
why are
come
you
back.
mentioning Mayweather name?
I didn't mention Mayweather. I didn't bring
Oh,
up
I'm
Mayweather.
sorry, my bad, bro. I didn't know who
But,
did. My
but what
bad.
I'm
No, I
saying
think
is
the
with
scholar. I
Devin,
think the scholar brought up Mayweather. Go
yeah. But
ahead,
when it comes,
Tom.
yeah, when it comes to Devin, like, yes, his last fight, he didn't take any risk. And that's why I said he dominated Ramirez, but he wasn't impressive because he never took risk. He never he never really went in there for the kill. He never really went in there to beat him up. He did enough to win, and that's all he did. But at the same
Bro,
time, you gotta keep in the back of your mind. In his last fight, he got dropped 5 times. So why would you be rushing the pocket after being dropped 5 times in your last fight?
it
They
ain't
want to see
rushing
him
the
get stretched,
pocket.
bro.
I mean, at least show us what Shane Mosley taught you. Show us that. At
Did
least
he
do
get the
that,
victory,
bro.
brother? Did he get the victory?
How did he get it? I don't
It
understand
don't
how he
matter. Did
got
he
Scholar
it.
get?
ain't about if you win. The scholar's about
Bro,
how you look when you win, bruh. And you can win all your whole career and still nobody gives a damn about you. All those accolades, all those O's that they holding on to. If you fighting cab drivers or you putting on shitty performances, no one will care, bruh. I don't care if you win or lose. I mean, I care if you win or lose, but
I
even if you
mean,
lose in impressive fashion or
the
win
the
in
problem
impressive fashion.
the problem
Losing
that I
impressive
have though
fancy.
is, like, if you look at quality of opposition, this is my problem that I have though. Like Devin, I mean, I won't say Ramirez was at the greatest because he was at the end of his career. He had already lost to Barboza in the fight before, and he really hasn't looked that good since he lost to Josh Taylor. However, every fighter Devin's been fighting are top tier fighters. So Devin don't fight bums. And this is where I got to disagree with you, Ty, because I know you like Tank Davis. Tank Davis constantly fights low opposition. Yes, his fights are way more impressive.
Tony, I
but
will
it's a
have
lot.
security take you out back and beat you. There will be
Yeah, you
no
capping
debate
right now,
that
bro.
Davis
but I just want
on
to
this
say this.
fucking show,
I just
bro.
want to say this. It's just like with Deontay. It's just like with Deontay Wilder. You can look very impressive fighting B and C level fighters, but when you start to fight A and elite level fighters, do you still look impressive?
So hold
That's the thing about it.
hold up, swole up. Because this is my question to you then, right? You clearly popped your ass up on 2 Cents panel when the whole conversation was going on about Lamont and Tank and said that he brought up a 130-pound fighter, how he let a 130-pound fighter beat him. Now, all of a sudden, he's a B-level fighter when you fighting high-level opposition. And another thing, if he's fighting such C and D-level opposition, then what the fuck is Devin fighting? Because Ryan beat the brakes off of Devin and Tank made that nigga stop.
Okay, so let's talk about that fight. Tank made him go down to a catch weight. Then he made him have a rehydration clause. Then the day of the fight, they delayed the
Who go down to a catch weight? Who go down to a catch weight?
Tank made Ryan go down to a catch weight.
This is a bunch of bullshit. Security.
No, it isn't. Was there a catch weight?
Security.
Yeah, it was catch weight and rehydration clause.
It was a catch weight because Ryan missed weight. Stop playing with me, Tony.
No, he didn't.
Yes, the hell he did.
Tony, come on,
there
bro.
was no. The fight was signed for 136.
Bro, you know Ryan wanted to catch weight, so
because
that's
no, he did not want to catch weight.
He didn't want to make the 135 weight class.
No. You could go listen to Tank say it out of his mouth. Tank said everything that we told Ryan he had to do, he took. So of course we're going to take advantage of him. Tank said that out of his mouth.
Tank did say that. Tank did say that.
Where's the proof?
No, a Jab Queen. I don't agree with everything this guy's saying, but Tank did say that.
Yeah, Tony's known to cap on occasion.
I'm not capping. You go look it up.
Nah,
I remember. I swear, I remember Tank saying that. Now I'm not
because Ryan.
And then here's I'm even going to try this even deeper. Right? Let me try this even deeper. Tank knew exactly how bad he was hurting Ryan by weight draining because every time he would get on him with Skype.
How can you be weight draining?
Hold on, let me finish, please, Ty. Let me finish, please, Ty. Let me finish, please.
Security.
Every time him and Ryan would do anything, he would be eating food in front of him, talking about, I know you hungry. Like it was already a ploy to weaken the dude.
Eating tacos?
Yeah, that nigga had a taco stand at his damn. Come on, bro, cut it.
Man, did you?
No. The thing is, Tony is right about what he's saying, but at the same time, that got nothing to do with Devin running. That got nothing to do with Devin running, bro.
No, but my point is this. My point is this.
Tank.
No, yes, because we talking about when it comes to Devin, at least he fights and has been trying to fight the best of the best in his division.
Regis Progress the best. Regis Progress the best.
Absolutely
he was a champion.
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
Here we go with that again.
Yo, bro.
I told you before, Tony. Sometimes these champions ain't real champions. Just like Cambosis ain't having damn business with them goddamn belts. He ain't have no business beating Teofimo.
What you mean? He beat the shit out of Teo.
But if you're going by names and recognition, he had no business beating Teo. What I'm saying is sometimes with a belt ain't got no business with the belt.
He beat two former. Before he beat Teo, he beat Lee Shelby and Mickey Bay, who were two former champions before he beat Teo's ass. So the dude had already been fighting champions before he got in there with Teo and beat his ass.
You gotta stop this, bro.
That's a fact.
Tony.
We gotta stop this, bro.
Tony. When Devin picked Regis, he knew that Regis was a wide puncher, bro. He knew that. Devin throw jabs right down the pocket. That's all he do is throw jabs straight down the pocket. That's an easy fight. That's an easy match to make.
It's irrelevant to the fact that Regis had regained his title, that he lost to Josh Taylor. He had regained his title.
All right. So what about this? He sit here and told Regis he couldn't come across a certain weight line. He couldn't come across a certain weight limit. I mean, but then you have Devin come in 25 pounds over the day of the fight.
And then you have But then you have Tank Davis putting rehydration clauses on fighters. So I don't understand the point.
But bro, Tank don't go up 25 pounds overnight, bro.
We don't know
Hold
what
on,
we
Lucky.
don't know what
Hold on,
Tank goes
Tony.
up.
Let me ask you a question. Are the opponents the only one who have to abide by the rehydration clause?
No,
Yes or
Not at
no,
no?
all.
Yes or
Not at
no?
no,
all.
But
no.
here's the
Both
problem.
both
Here's the
sides.
problem. Here's the problem. When it comes to rehydration clauses, it's beneficial to the smaller man.
You know
Ain't
what?
nobody ain't nobody actually
You
take the
no,
fight.
no, no,
This
no.
is
I know
ridiculous.
this from
This is
actually
ridiculous.
boxing.
Tony, hold on a
It,
second, Tony, because I'm going to ask you a question. And this is my problem, I guess, just in general. How can you weight drain somebody who fights in the same weight class as you?
he didn't. He fought at 140.
He never
I'm
fought
talking
at
about Ryan.
140, bro.
I'm talking about Ryan and Tank. You said that he weight drained him. Weren't they both at 135?
No, Ryan was at 140.
Ryan
I
never
don't. I,
fought at 140, man.
no, he didn't, bro.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Yes, he did.
When? What
No,
fight was
no,
at
he didn't.
140 for Ryan?
He fought Fortuna at 140 and he fought Emmanuel to go at 140.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about? The last fight he had at 135 was whenever he beat Luke Campbell. After he beat Luke Campbell, he went up to 140.
Okay, so then Tony, why take the fight? You knew that you would have to go back down to his weight class. The problem I have with people is they keep saying that Tank weight drains people when he has to abide by the same weight class and weight
Bro.
stipulations as
Again,
everybody he
I have to
fights.
say this again, Ty. The smaller man, always gets the benefits from a rehydration because he's the
No,
smaller man.
Tony. The smaller man is making sure you as small as him. That's all
No,
that is. That's it
if you
is.
here's the problem. I've boxed. If you've never boxed before and never cut weight before, then in your brain you will never understand.
Oh,
Okay,
here we
when
go with
you
this
are used to
bullshit again,
cutting
Tony.
weight,
Oh,
when
please,
you are
man.
used to cutting weight and putting weight back on, there is a difference than when you're not allowed to put that weight back on. You are going to be
How
sapped
is
of your
that,
strength,
bro?
your energy, etc.
Hey, Tony.
Hold on,
Hey,
Lucky.
Tony.
I know you don't like Tank, bro, but he's fought better competition than Devin, bro.
What's up, KO?
Better than Devin?
For sure, bro.
Absolutely.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
please excuse me. What's up, KO?
Hey, what's good? What's good, Ty? What's up, everybody on the panel? Can y'all hear me? Am I
Yeah,
good?
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
sir. What's
sorry.
up,
It's this
KO?
restream stream y'all was acting up today. What's good?
No, it's all good. I just hear the nice little passionate debate y'all having, and y'all know I love this type of topic. So, I'm just chilling. I'll chime in if my name is called or whatever. I do want to just say real briefly, and I'll let y'all get off whatever y'all getting off. I do want to say, bro, like if we're gonna put it into like this full perspective. Number one, Tank also said and was very clear. All Ryan had to do was be willing to fight me at 135, and he wouldn't have no rehydration
Thank
clause.
you.
So let's make sure that we point that out as well. The other thing that we want to point out is that when Ryan Garcia was fighting at 140, calling out Javante Tank Davis had already made it clear to the world that he wasn't campaigning at 140 pounds because he dropped his belt that he got off of Mario Barrios. Everybody needs to remember that he had three belts at the same time. He had the 130 WBA that he got from Leo. He had the regular WBA at 135 pounds, and he had the regular WBA at 140. And he chose to drop that belt and the 30 belt because he was going to campaign at 135. So when Ryan was calling him out and acting like he wanted smoke and all this, he was calling out a dude that he knew was a weight class below him while at the same time simultaneously not trying to make the weight that dude was fighting at. That's on Ryan Garcia. Why didn't he call out Josh Taylor at the time or Regis at the time or whoever the 140-pound big dogs was at the time? And so people want to get mad at Tank Davis for being smart and not letting Ryan Garcia play weight games with him. I hear people sucking off Devin Haney up here. Shout out to Tony. It's no disrespect, but I bet you Devin Haney after what
Big
happened with him
time
and Ryan
compliment.
Garcia, I bet you Devin Haney after what happened with him and Ryan Garcia, I bet you he would have liked to have some of them smarts. I bet you he wish he had the smarts to know what type of weight games Ryan was trying to play with him. I bet you he wish he had that type of smart hindsight being 2020. So at the end of the day, big fighters are looking for an advantage to try to shrink themselves down. And little fighters are going to do what they can to protect themselves, specifically when they're the A side. And it needs to be clear that Tank let Ryan know if you just make one more pound, you ain't got to worry about no rehydration clause. And it also needs to be clear that Ryan Garcia said the day of the weigh-in that he made weight easier than he ever made weight in his entire career. And he was cool and he was good and he trick tanking them and then he was ready to go knock Tank Davis out in the first and second round. And then he also doing his media day workout instead of working out to try to cut weight and get a sweat, he had a
Eating
taco stand like I
tacos.
heard
Yep.
somebody say, and he had pizza as goddamn media day weigh-in. So we can't sit up here and cap for that man, bro. It's just always something to try to find a way to take credit away from Tank Davis when he knocks somebody the hell out. And that's all I got, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
we also have to keep in mind too that you have a limit to the weight that you can lose, and it was not attainable for Ryan Garcia to get down to 135. Furthermore, they were supposed to fight 2 years prior to because of Mike Tyson's hot box, and everybody was calling Ryan Garcia a duck for not taking the fight when it was originally being talked about. So again, Tank made him knowing that he couldn't make 135, come down to 136.
Bro,
Oscar De La
bro.
Hoya,
Hey,
Oscar De La
Tony,
Hoya,
Tony,
Let him
Oscar De,
finish,
Tony.
Lucky. Lucky. Let him finish. Let him
Oscar
finish.
De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins both were against the fight because they told Ryan, you cannot do this. It's going to destroy your body. Furthermore, if we're going to go off the antics of eating the taco, we also know Ryan Garcia was allegedly smoking weed before he fought Devin Haney, but he never popped out for it. So he wasn't actually smoking weed. We also know that he was drinking alcohol
So
before
he
the fight,
wasn't actually eating a taco,
but he
Tony.
actually wasn't. But he actually wasn't drinking alcohol because they said that the bottles were filled with water. So we know that he caps a lot for the camera to do the
So he
show that
wasn't
he
eating a
likes to
hot.
be the
So he
Instagram
wasn't
model
eating.
that he is. Also, on top of that,
So
moving
can I
past
ask you a
that,
question then,
no,
Tony?
no, I'm not. I let you go on your spill. I
You're
didn't
not
interject. I
responding to
didn't
anything I
interrupt.
said
I
though.
did.
Yeah,
I
we
Maybe
yeah.
I
am.
might
I
just
So
am
got a
let
responding
me
question.
to
start.
everything that you
Hold on,
said
KO. Hurry up,
directly.
Tony. Land your plane.
Direct. I know you don't like it when it comes to Tank, but it's going to be said. Furthermore, if we're going to go off of what Ryan said, Ryan also said that when he walked into the ring, he felt dizzy. The saliva was dry in his mouth, that he didn't feel right going into the ring. So if you're going to use what his words were, then you got to use all his words when he told you it was the worst that he ever felt when he got into that ring. Then on top of it, allegedly he had a broke rib going into the fight. So the fact of the matter is this: Ryan Garcia took a bet on himself. He took a stupid deal because he thought he could overcome the disadvantages never being weight drained before. He learned very quickly when he got into that ring that being weight drained is real. He should have listened to Oscar. He should have listened to B Hop, who have done it before. They already knew it. We've seen several fighters lose on the scale, and he's just another one. To compare the Ryan Garcia that Tank fought to the juiced up, overweight one that Devin fought is ridiculous because they're not the same. Now, again, I don't care where Tank said that he was going to fight, whether it be 135, 140, whatever. He was an alleged fake champion at 140 because he was never a champion at 140 because Josh Taylor was undisputed at the time. When you're undisputed, there's no room for other champions. Mario Barrios never had a real belt. He had a baby belt, a lesser than belt that didn't count for nothing. Tank had already proven that he could go up to 140, but he didn't want to do it again against Ryan because he needed every single advantage that he could get to feel comfortable. That's the problem. Daring to be great is what Devin did. Ryan busted weight. Cool, we'll run it. We'll go. You busted weight. I don't care. He made him pay him allegedly per pound that he was over. I don't know if he ever got paid. And then it came out after the fact that he popped hot. Obviously, he didn't know about that. But Devin took on the dude when he was at his very best. So it is
Bro,
what it is.
Tony, what kind of shape are you in if you smoking, fucking
That's what I'm
prostitute,
talking about.
drinking,
Tony
and
grasping for
come
stars,
on, bro.
yo.
You be
This
cook.
is
Sometimes you be
ridiculous,
cooking,
Tony.
but
He
when it comes to
wasn't doing
tank,
none of that.
That
when it
nigga
comes
ain't
to
cooking
tank, bro, you
shit.
start capping.
All right, yo. I mean, let's go around with our final thoughts because Tony done made my stomach hurt. KO, what you got on it?
So I wanted to say this and I wanted to ask the question. So a couple of things. All the stuff that Ryan said about how he felt horrible, how he did this and all the stuff that Tony brought up, he did say that after Tank Davis made his ass quit. Of course you're gonna have excuses after you get your ass knocked out. That's number one. Number two, the point about Mario Barrios and having a baby belt, I don't know where that was supposed to land or where it was trying to land because I didn't say that Tank Davis was a real champion. I didn't say that that was a real belt. I said that he did that to let the world know that he's going to be campaigning at 135. And that was when Ryan was still on his hiatus, pretending like he had mental health issues. Not that Tank Davis had a real belt and he was the champion. Never said that Mario Barrios was a real champion. The point that I was making was that he had three belts simultaneously. The WBA came to him and said, we're about to start ordering these fights. You can't have all three belts at the same time. Which weight class are you going to campaign at? And he made it clear that it was going to be 135 pounds. That was the point. And the question that I have, and that I really want to end with this is why are we blaming the smaller fighter for protecting himself when the bigger fighter is the one calling for smoke and didn't want to make the smaller fighter's weight? If you gonna call a motherfucker out, then you got to fight him in his weight class. You the one doing the call out, right? You the one that pulled away from the fight 2 years prior and pretended you had mental health issues when you was making 135 comfortably. That ain't Tank fault. So he stayed on weight, stayed disciplined or whatever. And because you had to move up because you was a goddamn weight bully in the first place and you was big as shit in the first place, now he's supposed to accommodate you? No, it don't work that way, bro. When you want to fight somebody that's the A side, you make the sacrifices to fight them. And if you don't, they going to protect themselves and put stipulations. Because guess what, bro? If Ryan had knocked that nigga out, if he had stopped him that day in the ring, wasn't nobody going to be talking about rehydrations. Wasn't nobody going to be talking about weight clauses. Wasn't nobody going to be talking about how much bigger Ryan was than Tank. Wasn't nobody going to be talking about how he was 5'10" and Tank was 5'4". Everybody's going to be talking about Tank Davis got exposed and he was a motherfucking hype job. Niggas be trying to have that shit both ways, bro, and that shit be annoying as shit. If he win, it's always a goddamn problem. If he lose, niggas can't wait to call him a hype job. So he did right protecting himself. He get all the credit in the world, and I don't give a damn what nobody say. Ryan Garcia shouldn't have been calling out a nigga smiling at him and expect him to just be stupid. And what Devin Haney did was stupid. It was dumb, and that's why he's not doing it anymore. That's why he's trying to do his little 144, 145 light welterweight shit in a weight class that don't even exist. That's all I got, Ty. Y'all be.
Okay, all right, KO. Appreciate you, brother. All right, Tony, finish up, yo. Come on.
I love how he posed the question, then hopped off the panel before a question.
He got
could
better
be
things to
answered.
do than go back and forth with you all night, Tony. I mean,
Yeah,
at
I
the end of
got
the
you,
day,
Ty.
what he said was true. You know, Ryan
No,
shouldn't have been calling him out.
the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, first off, the resumes alone are not comparable. Devin has a way better resume.
Oh my
Second
God.
off, Devin dares to be great where Tank looked for an
Does he?
advantage to be. I mean, all Tank does is first time you win a 140, we're gonna put a rehydration clause on you, Mario Barrios. Even
Here
though
we
I'm the smaller
go.
man coming in your division, I'm gonna make you have and you're the alleged champion, fake champion, baby belt champion.
Here we
We're gonna put a
go.
rehydration clause on you.
But
The
if
point,
Pacquiao whoop his ass, he gonna want that
the
belt though,
point,
right?
Pacquiao gonna beat the shit out of Mario Barrios.
Here
Old
we
as shit,
okay.
46 years old, gonna work his ass
Sure, you're
because
right.
Mario Barrios is trash. But
Okay.
anyways, like just like old ass Keith Thurman worked his ass. But the bottom line is the reason why I brought up Mario Barrios was for the rehydration clause. This is not something that he just did to Ryan. This is something that he did before to look for an advantage over a fighter. And again, I will restate this. If you've never boxed before, if you've never cut weight before, then you don't know the pain of cutting weight and you don't know how bad it affects your body when you can't acclimate back to the weight that you're used to fighting at. So again, I hate this no running rule. I think that's fucking stupid. If there's going to be a rule, it needs to be about engagement. Like both guys need to be able to engage at some point in time in the fight. They can't just be standing there looking at each other. And then I don't think Devin's a runner. The only fight we ever seen him fight off the back foot was against Ramirez, and he dominated him. It wasn't impressive, but he beat him arguably 11. If you beat a fighter 11-1, you dominated him. It doesn't matter how it looked. Doesn't matter how exciting it was.
Hey, Tony.
Lucky, let him finish. Don't interrupt him. Just let him do his thing.
God,
You gotta let Tony just do his thing.
And
Go ahead, Tony.
Ty, you know I got love for you. I know you get mad over the T when I bring up the name, but
yes. That's why I say go ahead, finish.
But no, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna let them close out. I ain't gonna go on forever. I'm about to hit the gym.
All right,
is
babe.
Thanks for going live tonight?
No, I think tomorrow. We're doing the all-women panel tomorrow.
Oh well, then damn, I can't join you.
No, she opens it up after a while. After we, break down whatever happened all week, then she opens it up for y'all. So stop by.
Yeah, I'll see you over there. Then have a good night.
All right, babe. You too. Cash, what you got?
Tony be cooking. I fuck with Tony. He be cooking, but as soon as you bring up Tank, man, he get
that
that
nigga be
capping.
cooking on an easy bake oven, baby.
I remember cutting weight for wrestling. It ain't easy, but the whole acclimating back to your weight, that's for when you reach that age where that's for them older dudes. That ain't for these young niggas in their prime, man. These niggas ain't having them type of problems. I just don't agree with that point, man. But Tank's resume's better. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. That nigga's fighting the more dangerous people, the better competition, and he's not and he's doing it with all the disadvantages. Like I don't know. I don't understand how people even come up with this argument that Devin got a better resume just because he got Loma on there. Come on, man.
You know why? You know that's why. But what I can't understand is how people call him, like, say, oh, he puts weight hydration clauses on people when he has to follow the same weight rehydration clause. And also, he is 5'4", bro. And y'all all call him out. But then y'all get mad when y'all have to adhere to the stipulations that he may or may not put on you. If you call him out and you know he's in a smaller weight class and he's the A side, then you know you got to go to his weight class. You got to go where the money at, which is Tank. So you have to adhere to his, whatever it is that he has going on, that's what you have to adhere to. The problem that I have mainly, and if I'm being honest, is they only do it to Tank. I don't hear shit about Canelo. And Canelo does this to everybody. Matter of fact, whatever Canelo tell you, you getting, that's what you getting.
Yeah, the hate is real. I'm going to just say that, man. I'm going to catch you next time, lady.
All right, babe. Thanks for stopping by.
Peace.
All right, y'all. So the bottom line is Turkey is broke. He's putting on an America's Got talent show. So for anybody who can throw them a combo 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, go on down to the Turkey card because he needs y'all support. He's charging y'all now for press conferences, so the struggle is real. We will be live tomorrow on Tulsa's panel. Join us for the all women's panel. Y'all know how we give it up over there. I will be back Saturday at 2:30 for fight predictions. I want to know who y'all think gonna win. Obviously, we think that Kambosos is gonna win, but Kambosos, Lord, Richardson Hitchens is gonna win. But Kambosos was talking spicy. He told Richardson just his breath stink, all kind of shit is going on. He got real ghetto. I'm gonna do some clips of the press conference because I missed it earlier, so y'all stay tuned.